ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
If you spend any time at all in your yard, you're going to encounter fire ants.
We know they can ruin a party. That's why we're this area's experts at fire ant elimination.
As your certified top choice professional, we will rid your yard of these unwanted invaders. Brock Pest is so sure they will get rid of fire ants that they offer a 1-year guarantee.
Enjoy your yard fire ant free. We guarantee it. Give us a call for your free consultation.
Brock Lawn and Pest Control, our family protecting yours since 1968.
Visit the newly remodeled Mid-South Lumber Hardware and Feed Store in Youngstown. They have a full line of plumbing, electrical, hardware, and tools for your DIY home projects, as well as lumber and animal feed. Now offering not only baby chicks and a full line of poultry supplies, but also bunnies and parakeets. They also carry a wide selection of Duplin wines and gourmet products so you don't have to drive to the beach. Come see us at Mid-South Lumber on Highway 231 in Youngstown.
Hey folks, Chris Kramer with Bill Kramer GM. And the best place to listen to the Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey is inside a brand new vehicle from Bill Kramer GM. And I want you to know we've got 10 times the amount of inventory on the ground as we did this time last year, and darn near all of them are discounted. So shop us online at BillKramerGM.com or visit us at the corner of Frankfurt and 23rd. We'll make it easy and take great care of you.
PCB Hobby, the beach's premier hobby store for sports cards, comics, coins, and trading card games. PCB Hobby carries the largest selection of boxes and packs from the latest releases of brands like Topps, Panini, Leaf, and more. Looking for a specific player or team? PCB Hobby has a wide assortment of raw and graded cards. They carry parallel rookie, game used, and autographed cards in both modern and vintage. Have a collection you want to sell? We buy, sell, and trade. PCB Hobby on Back Beach Road, just east of Florida Linen. Call 850-320-8388.
Meet Cheryl. Hey. She's on vacation and lost in the moment. Unfortunately, so is her Chase debit card.
It's gotta be somewhere.
Maybe she lost it at salsa night.
These skirts should have pockets.
Or maybe she lost it at Pilates.
3 and 2 and...
But she's not worried. With the Chase mobile app, she can lock her card till it turns up. Tools that help protect. One bank that puts you in control. Visit chase.com/checking. Chase, make more of what's yours.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank and a member FDIC.
You're a real estate agent, not a social media expert, but you absolutely need a professional social media strategy. Stay on top of mind, top of feed, and be in more places. Introducing SocialStackPro.com, a tool for real estate agents that inspires your content with the power of ChatGPT built right in. Try SocialStackPro.com for free. Focus on building your brand, building relationships, and post like a pro with SocialStackPro.com.
WGSX Lynn Haven, WVLQ Port St. Joe. Powered by Panama City Toyota. ESPN Northwest Florida. It's the next evolution of sports talk radio. The biggest stories and the biggest reactions.
Now.
And now, we're taking...
With the first pick.
This is the last ball you got to bat. The Inside Drive. From college to the pros. Interviews with the newsmakers, sports betting, your phone calls, and more. And now, The Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey. Broadcasting from the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine Outdoor Studios on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good Monday morning. You're listening to the Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. 104.3 in Panama City Beach, all these beautiful surrounding areas. 101.9 in Port St. Joe. Facebook, Twitch, YouTube. Like, comment, subscribe, share, all those things. All you gotta do is search up ESPN Northwest Florida. If you already do it, we appreciate you very much. Of course, you can download our very, very free. Can you be more than free? Because it's like correct. You can't be more than correct. You're either correct or not. You're either free or you're not.
Well, absolutely free.
Absolutely.
This is the free state of Florida, right, Ryan Mulvey?
Last time I checked.
Yeah. I mean, that's
not
the new
as free
sign.
as Texas, though, right?
No, not as free as Texas.
Texas is its own country, right, so you can't even compare it. Yeah.
Independence Day.
I forgot about that.
They got two of them things.
That was a good time. That was a good time when you made that comment.
You did forget a verb, though. Subshare.
Some share.
Yeah.
Some scare. Some scare. There you go. And
we had some scare yesterday, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. You can listen to, of course, download where, Jay? The free mobile app?
Google Play or Apple Store.
That one you do need to?
Type 104.3. You got to make sure you do that.
So let me ask you this. If you're on a phone, is it typing or is it like pushing?
Typing.
Still typing?
Yeah.
Even though you're not physically pushing a key?
Right.
Okay.
Right,
I agree with that. That's
Yeah.
fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
I don't know about pushing.
Yeah, I don't know what the other verb would be, but I guess you're typing on a phone, but you're not like depressing keys. Remember when the BlackBerry first came out, you actually had keys you had to press down.
I know, right?
Pretty cool stuff.
I remember that.
Yeah, the BlackBerry. Time has changed, that's for sure.
Yep.
Got a big show lined up today, talking a little open recap, all sorts of fun stuff, some NASCAR action. Finally asked DJ Davy Crockett who he picked. We'll talk about it here in the next segment. But got a fun poll question for you here. Actually, no, I had to talk to Richard Sanders. He listens to the show all the time. He's been visit Panama City Beach forever, director of sports and all that, and he's since retired, but still helps out a little bit. He said I think he's a fellow Griffinite, or maybe not a fellow Griffinite, but knows all about Griffin. Okay. And he said shoe polish. Have you heard that term for a Griffinite being called? He said something about shoe polish. Like he said, you were really hard on shoe polish last week. That's what he said. Have you ever heard that phrase?
I have not.
Referring to you.
Their drug of choice or something?
I don't know. He referred to Jay as shoe polish, and he said it was a Griffin thing, but maybe it was through email, so maybe I didn't completely understand the context.
I don't know. I mean, I'll be glad to shine his shoes or whatever.
No, he said, you were very harsh to shoe polish last week. And I told him, well, you hadn't been on the show in quite some time consistently, so there was a lot of softballs you were tossing up.
I got you.
So, and if you ever feel offended, just let me know. We don't care. We'll just keep on going.
No.
But yeah, so
that one little emotion I got left.
you got point. Well, is that going back to why Joanna? Because you were too emotionless for her.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
I hope that. I hope she comes back and talks on the air again.
I hope
That was
so
a great
too.
time.
That was fun.
It's more. We got to do it when we're not least expecting it though, because we certainly weren't expecting it last Friday. But a good time nonetheless. I'm going to back into our poll question here, but first, Jay Henley, there was a few days over the weekend. How many days until NFL on September 5th?
Oh, man, we're going to go. All right, so let's go.
Put down your phone.
40. I'm not. 47?
That's where we left off.
Is it?
Yeah.
All right, so minus 3, 44.
44 days until the start of the NFL football season, and then how many to the college football season?
Let's go, man. 32.
Close.
31. 33.
33.
Yes.
I guess if third time's the charm, you still
I saw the thumbs up. I was like, oh, okay.
Boom, boom, hitting that trigger. I like it. Oh, Open Championship. I know you went up to play some golf with Keith this weekend.
I did.
And how'd that go? I think you rode with old Chuck, huh?
I did. Chuck Fleming. We had a great time. It was wet. I think we had a lot of rain Friday night, but yeah, we had a good time. Played White Oak Golf Club just south of Atlanta. Didn't win any money. The putting woes still are, my bugaboo right now.
Yes, the bugaboo.
Yeah. I think I hit it to 3 feet like 3 times
And
during
you
the
missed
round
the
and
putts?
missed them. Like, just didn't even hit the hole.
That's embarrassing.
It is embarrassing.
Is it time to change the cork off the cork putter grip?
It may be. I think it is.
You've had it for a long time.
I have.
And it does, in fact, float. We figured that question
Yes,
out
it does.
many, many weeks ago. But yeah,
But it was good to see Keith, and I know we talk to him every Wednesday, and but it was good to hang out with him for a little bit, and was gonna play golf yesterday morning with them and then come on back, but I decided to just get on back home.
hit the old dusty trail and head on back home.
Yep.
Did you go up Friday night?
I did.
Nice.
Yeah, I went up
Nice.
Friday night, and it was good. It was nice and cool up there. A little bit of cloudy. Was like 82 degrees. I mean, it was nice. It was good.
Yeah.
So,
Cool.
Good to see some folks I haven't seen in quite some time up there, and saw some folks over at Noonan Country Club.
There you
Shout
go.
out to Noonan Country Club. They had the Kirby Invitational happening up there.
Ooh, sweet.
This weekend, and I think there was a kid, Jacob Joseph, I believe. He was 6 under through 12 on Saturday.
Phew.
I mean, he got it on fire, and
Kids are so good nowadays.
but Maddox, remember
Yeah.
we had Maddox on the show
Maddox
back a few
Lyle,
months ago.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Maddox Lytle. He's the coach for Point University, and
Yep.
Jacob is one of his players. They actually got into a playoff yesterday in the Kirby.
Playing
and
each other?
Playing each
Come
other.
on,
Coach
that's
versus
awesome.
student. Yeah, it was good. And
some karate stuff.
And the student athlete won. Jacob beat coach.
I would hope so.
Yep.
I would hope so. Nice.
Yeah.
The Kirby Invitational, does that have anything to do with Kirby Smart?
It does
Or
not.
the vacuum.
Or the vacuum, right? No, I know it was the 99th tournament.
You're going to play in next year's Centennial?
Centennial, yeah, that would be awesome. But you got to be an amateur, and it's a lot of good players in the area playing it. So it's pretty cool.
Absolutely, good stuff. Good
watched
stuff.
a little bit of golf yesterday.
Keith told me to specifically ask you about riding with Chuck.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, he did. I don't know if you can talk about what he said on the air or not, but if there's any fun stories you have that pop into your head, just stop me as we're going along, because I've heard Chuck is quite a hoot to play with when it comes to the golf side of things.
He is hilarious.
He likes those Bud Heavies, right?
Yes, he does. And look, he told me on about hole 3, it was about 8:30. We teed off like 8:10, right?
Nothing like a Bud Heavy at 8 o'clock in the morning.
He said, now listen here, Jay. I'm going to wait till number 10. I'm going to wait till number 10 to get into that Bud.
Hole 3.
Yeah. It was about hole 7.
Okay.
Hole 7.
Bottle or can?
Straight up bottle.
All right.
Yeah, I was going to say that would go against his gripe at the restaurant that Keith brought up.
Yeah, and he couldn't handle it no more. He said, "Here I am, hole number 7." So it was good.
Yeah.
Chuck is such a great dude. He's such a great guy.
Were you just playing? Was this the game that they play on Saturday mornings?
Yeah. Just a straight up skins game, and everybody throws in $20, and if you birdie a hole that nobody does, you could win 100.
Just skins.
Just skins.
I like it. That means you could play like crap, but if you have one good hole, you might get a skin.
Absolutely.
There you go.
Yeah.
And not the skin that you're thinking about when he puts the dog in the basket and all that. The skin is in money.
There you go. That's
Buffalo Bob is what I was referring to. Puts the lotion on the skin. Puts the anyway. Because a lot of people may not know what a skins game is. In golf.
Oh yeah.
You know,
it's there's a lot of golf stuff that we say.
A lot of different games, yeah.
It's
crazy.
crazy.
But if you want to interrupt us and ask, you can. That's what we're here for. 850-215-6290. Alan, he won. Although Alan was moonlighting as somebody else in our very own studio, DJ Davey Crockett. Just absolutely.
That was Ralph Jackson.
That was Ralph. He's
He'd be studying, especially that overseas golf.
He's pretty much on fire, that's for sure. And he only had 2 guys make the cut, so he automatically got docked 10 strokes. But he had Shane Lowry and Russell Henley, who were a combined 9 under par. So only 1 over par for the entire tournament, and 4 guys missed the cut. We may next year, when we do the Open Championship, we may need to up the missed cut things, because there were people's scores that were way higher than the penalty of the missed cut. But Jay, you were 31 over par with just 2 players making the cut. Ricky Fowler, who finished 13 over, and Max Homa, who finished 8 over. And like I said, Alan/Ralph Jackson had 4 missed cuts: DeChambeau, Finau, Thigala, Hovland, but had Russell Henley and Shane Lowry, so he finished 1 over par. Keith had Scheffler, Koepka, Morikawa, and Harman. They all made the cut, so he didn't get penalized by a missed cut, but Brian Harman finished 11 over, Koepka 8 over, Morikawa 2 over, and Scheffler was -1, so he was 20 over par. And then I tied Keith at 20 over par with McIlroy, Oberg, Fleetwood all missing the cut, and then Robert McIntyre, Cam Young being 9 over and 6 over respectively, with Adam Scott finishing even par.
And none of us took the champ.
None of us. We had 20, as Steve Wiley pointed out to me yesterday, we had 24 expert picks for this Open Championship, and not one of us picked the X-Men.
I have an idea of why that went down like that, because we started picking at the top, then Jay's over there just going all the way down to the daggone bottom, so we kind of get away from the top of the odds, like, oh, there's no way X-Man's still available, and
boom.
But where did he come from? Because nobody...
He's America, yeah.
Well, you know what I mean. Where did he come from this weekend?
Where did he go?
Well, and I think I thought that he wasn't going to win because he won the PGA, the PGA. So I just didn't think he was going to win another one this year. So I just didn't think he was going to have that great of a tournament. But boy, did he ever, Jay Henley.
Yeah.
Did you have a chance to watch any of that Sunday morning? You were on the road heading back?
Yeah.
He just, he just didn't falter, shooting 6 under par in that final round. Obviously, the conditions were really, really challenging until Sunday. The wind was still blowing pretty good, but there was no rain. The clouds had lifted a little bit, so it just felt like a whole nother day, and nobody could really catch him. But all your leaders, everybody that finished under par except for Scotty Scheffler, shot under par on their round, with Justin Rose having the second best, and he finished -7 at 4 under par. Billy Horschel, I bet if you would have told him he shot 3 under par, you give him 3 under par for the the day on Sunday to be 7 under. He probably would have thought he would have won this thing, but tough to go up against Xander Schauffele's 6 under par in the final round. And then a South African, Tristan Lawrence, who plays on the DP World Tour. He was 6 under par. And then Cousin Russell, 5 under par. And then Shane Lowry kind of didn't see this coming on Saturday, but Saturday was just such a brutal day. I mean, they were hitting drivers on 17, the par 3 on Saturday. That's how challenging it was playing, but ended up finishing 4 under par after shooting, I think he was 5 or 6 over on Saturday on his round. John Rahm finished a nice Open Championship at 1 under par, shooting 3 under par the final day. Sanjay M, also 1 under par for the tournament. And then your only other guy under par for the tournament, 9 total players, was Scotty Scheffler at -1 under par. Schauffele finishes the major season with 2 wins with 2 wins and top 10 finishes in the other 2. The only players to ever do this in the history of a major season: Arnold Palmer, Jack Nicklaus, Gary Player, Tom Watson, Tiger Woods, and Jordan Spieth. Not bad company to be with. What did you think of the X-Man? He going into this year, he was kind of touted as one of the best players to never win a major. Well, now he's won 2 in one season, which it's hard enough just to win 1 major, but to go ahead and win 2 majors in the same season, that just doesn't happen very often. So we were so Scheffler. He's winning everything. He's Arnold Palmer. He's the only other person to win, 6 tournaments going into it. It's the same year that he did it. Was played at Royal Troon. Arnold Palmer won that. A lot of people were thinking, okay, he's going to get it done. Obviously, you're not going to win every tournament, but he's been on fire this year. But is he now kind of being overshadowed for the best season so far as we finish the major season with Xander Schauffele?
Well, he's still a mainstream guy, don't you think? I mean, like, if you look at this leaderboard, the top 20, a lot of these guys aren't even like your mainstream guys that you really kind of see day in and day out, right?
Yeah.
Like, but Xander, yeah, I mean, he's got the potential to keep it going.
Well, I mean, 2 major championships in 1 year is pretty dang impressive, that's for sure. But if he continues this run he's on, he's won a gold medal, so he's done some other things that other people have never done. And the 42 years of the U.S. sweep of the major championships has come to an end, with Xander Schauffele winning the Open Championship. That makes 4 Americans winning all 4 majors this year.
That's cool. Go America.
Yeah, some pretty special stuff, that's for sure. But, none of us picked the X-Man, and we certainly should have. Apparently, he just needed to win that PGA, and the rest is history. But one thing that a lot of people don't know about, Brendan Quinn detailed this for The Athletic, but it's kind of been a year of change for Schauffele, in which the golfer and his father, Stefan Schauffele, willfully spent time apart after being inseparable for his entire career. They said it was a tough decision, but clearly the right one, and Stefan is reveling in his son's success. So he's obviously been inseparable from his dad with his golf career, and this year they decided to make a change, and lo and behold, that's kind of what made the move here, it seems like, for Xander. But I think this could be a poll question. I'll punt to you guys and see if it's one you guys think. But who do you think will get the career Grand Slam first? I'm not going to put Scotty Scheffler on this list yet because he's only won the Masters. Now, he's won it twice, but he's pretty far away from it. Rory McIlroy. He hasn't won a major in, this is now 11 years now the major season's come and gone, but he only needs the Masters for the career Grand Slam. And then you got Brooks Koepka. He's won 5 majors, but he has not won an Open Championship or a Masters, so he needs 2. Jordan Spieth, all he needs is the PGA, but it's not been as long as Rory, but it's been a long time as well. And then Xander just jumps right into the mix, winning the PGA and the Open Championship, so now he just needs the Masters and the U.S. Open. So I guess the poll question would be, who is the next golfer to win the career Grand, or who will be the first out of this group to win the career Grand Slam? Rory, Xander, Brooks, or Jordan Spieth? What do you think?
I think Rory, because Augusta is easier to win as you get into your 40s and 50s, in my opinion. I mean, you don't have the rough.
50s, huh?
Sure.
Yeah.
Has
there been any Masters champions in their 50s?
Yeah, I don't know.
Nicholas was 46 when he won it?
Yeah.
So it's not, I don't know if it's easier in your 50s, considering it's never been done.
But equipment is helping these guys out a lot more.
That's true. That's true.
Can you hit me with the options again?
Rory McIlroy. You just put Rory. Xander, Brooks, and Jordan Spieth?
Jordan, his woes of putting, I think he's not going to be able to.
Well, what in your mind, what makes Rory more of an opportunity than Jordan to do it? They each only need one.
But does Jordan need
He needs the PGA.
The PGA? Yeah. I'm just looking at the same consistent setup with Augusta and it being the shot maker's course that it is. I just feel like Rory's probably the one that can get it done sooner. What about you?
I don't think it's Rory. I don't think it's Jordan. I don't think it's Rory because I think he's just this pressure. And he even said, I'm going to go to the Open Championship, change my mindset, just have fun. But what did he do? He shot 13 over par. Not saying it was easy, but didn't even play himself into a lick of contention there. Jordan Spieth, I think just his prime has gone and passed. I just think the game has kind of gotten bigger than what he can do. I mean, he had a heck of a run. If he'd not had that collapse at the Masters that second time, maybe his career gets springboarded a little bit more. I know he won an Open Championship a couple years later, but I don't think it's Brooks because I don't know if he's going to be playing in every major going forward unless something changes. I'm going to give it to Xander. I think Xander's probably got the best shot to win that career Grand Slam just because he is now coming into the mix of winning major championships, albeit he's won 2 this year, which doesn't happen very often. Rory hasn't won one since 2014. I think Jordan won the Open Championship in 2017, if my memory serves me correctly. So those guys haven't won a major in a long time. Brooks has won 5 majors in the last 5 or 6 years. He's won 1 last year. So yeah, he's still kind of there, but he needs the Masters and the Open Championship in that one. I'm going to give it to Xander. Right. I think Xander's got the best chance to do it given where he's just kind of started winning majors in his career. And I think Rory just puts having to win the Masters. There's just so much we talked about the Masters during the Masters. It's just different than the rest of the golf tournaments. The allure, the history, the hallowed grounds that you go on. It's the same place every year. Whereas these other ones, I don't know, have the same. Obviously, if you're playing at St. Andrews or something like that, it's got some serious clout. But I just think the Masters is too big for Rory, so to speak. And I think that chance he had probably was. I don't know. I was also wrong about Tiger ever winning a major again, and he did that in 2019. So,
well, it's an elusive feat if you think about it, because is it Tiger that the last one that's done that? In the last 20 years.
I know he won the career, and he won 4. He had all 4 major trophies in his possession at one time. Right. He didn't win it in one season, but he won it.
The Tiger Slam.
Yeah, the Tiger Slam. In the next year, he won the Masters, and that locked it in for him. I don't know. That's a good question. That's a good question. But we'll go ahead and take a quick break here, and the poll question's up there. And I think Xander, you think Rory. We'll see how it plays out. Maybe not. Maybe they'll never win another major again, but Xander's certainly hot right now. You're listening to The Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida, available on all your devices.
Connected.
Hear your favorite sports talk hosts.
The Coach James Hale Show.
You're listening to The Inside Drive live.
The afternoon underdog.
And your favorite teams.
Braves win it!
We're live on the app. Tune in, Alexa, ESPNPC.com, Facebook, YouTube, and in your car at 101.9 and 104.3. Wherever you go, there we are. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good morning. This is Joanna with your latest forecast on ESPN Northwest Florida. For this afternoon and evening, mostly sunny and a chance of thunderstorms and a high of 88 with wind 8 to 12 miles per hour out of the south-southwest. A possibility of thunderstorms and mostly clear skies tonight and quite warm near 82. Partly cloudy in the morning and then likely thunderstorms and 89 tomorrow. 85 and definite thunderstorms and light showers Wednesday. This is your Monday's weather brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. Thank you for tuning into ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Are you tired of hearing 2 weeks when you call to get your boat worked on? Hey folks, it's Chris Kramer with Kramer Marine and Outdoor, and we'll get you in and back out on the water as quick as possible. We're a full-line Yamaha outboard dealer and Suzuki outboard dealer, and we have master-trained certified mechanics on site. So if it's just an annual service, electronics install, trolling motor install, or all the way up to a full repower, we can take care of you. So stop by and see us in the corner of Frankfurt and 23rd next to Bill Kramer GM, or call us at 850-851-0453.
Hi folks, I'm Tracy at Tracy's Fine Jewelry. Santa called and he asked me to help everyone get ready for Christmas and avoid the stress and rush. So we've stocked the store and slashed the prices. All diamond jewelry 30 to 50% off this month. All diamond rings, pendants, earrings, bracelets, and necklaces. And we are offering free 6 months layaway. Tracy's Fine Jewelry takes the stress out of the holidays. So shop now where Santa shops during our Christmas and July sale at Tracy's Fine Jewelry.
Now, it's time for your Atlanta Braves morning update. Presented by Tidal Wave Auto Spa. Get clean car happy at any of the 250-plus Tidal Wave Auto Spa locations today.
Cardinals take the rubber match as the Braves turn their attention to the Cincinnati Reds for 3 starting tonight. I'm Kevin McAlpin, and your Braves Radio Network morning updates coming up next.
Tickets for the Braves 2024 season are going fast. This season is jam-packed with great matchups. Get your tickets at braves.com/tickets.
Sunday afternoon in front of 37,000 at Truist Park. It was the visiting Cardinals taking the rubber match of their 3-game weekend series from the Braves by a final score of 6-2. Cardinals got solo homers in the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th by Paul Goldschmidt, Alec Burleson, and Lars Nootbaar. But the Braves would answer back with a solo shot of their own in the 3rd from Jared Kelenic. That cut the deficit to 2-1. Then in the 5th, it was an RBI single from Orlando Arcia that made it a 4-2 ball game. But the Cardinals pulled away late as they got a solo shot from Wilson Contreras in the 8th inning, and another run scored on an E2 throwing error charged to Travis d'Arnaud as St. Louis emerged victorious by a final score of 6-2. Meanwhile, Spencer Schwellenbach allowed 3 home runs over 6 innings and 4 total earned runs, suffering the loss to fall to 3-5. Cardinals now head out of town while the Cincinnati Reds come calling for a 3-game series as Reynaldo Lopez takes on Hunter Green coming up later on tonight. And as always, hear the call from Truist Park right here on the Braves Radio Network at 7:20 p.m. Eastern.
You hear it first. Sports talk right now. Back to the Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey.
I know it seems a bit overwhelming at first.
Broadcasting from the Bill Kramer Chevrolet, Buick, GMC, and Kramer Marine Outdoor Studios.
Something makes me think you'll get used to it.
On ESPN Northwest Florida.
Hey, and we are back. You listen to the Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. Little EA College Football. I want to bring David Hayes in for this one because this is from the Elite College Football Instagram account, who's obviously been talking a lot about EA College Football 25, and they've shared their opinions of the game thus far. I wanted to see where it lined up with D. Hayes' thoughts. Starting with this, the offensive gameplay and playbooks are a huge win. Fair to say?
Fair to say, absolutely.
All right.
I mean, I haven't even dove into a ton of different playbooks at this point. Honestly, I've just been playing the Dynasty. I did play one game online, and it was a close loss. Played Auburn. I was playing with South Carolina because I wanted to use Nick Harbor.
Super speed. Was he 99 or is he 198? Something like that?
Yeah, I don't even know what his daggone speed is. I just know he's 6'5" and runs like a horse.
Yeah, that guy's going to be something coming out of the next year.
Yeah, so, but yeah, for me so far, the playbook's a lot of fun, man, especially when you learn how to use the certain plays, especially the RPOs and whatnot. So, yeah, the playbooks are awesome.
There you go. Next one, I don't know if you... Go ahead.
No, I'll go ahead. Keep going.
No, I want to hear what you got to say.
Well, I mean, with you guys, right? I mean, where can I rent this game is what I want to know.
Blockbuster. Yeah. It's in Seattle, I believe.
Yep, absolutely.
Seattle. Okay.
You got to go to the other section, though, because the video games are always in a different spot.
If you here's a serious one for you, though. You could spend $7. Man,
is that what the EA Play is?
Yeah. You could spend $7 and you would get 10 hours of the game. If you could, and you could utilize all 10 of those hours within a month. Just make sure that you cancel your subscription.
So that's a way of renting it.
It is a way of renting it. It absolutely is. So with that being said, EA Play. But you got to have a PS5 or a new Xbox.
Gotcha.
There you go.
Yep.
See? I thought it was a facetious question.
You
nailed it. EA Play. I should have known that.
Yeah.
What was that? Remember back in the, I don't know how far back
Gameplay?
in the day. Yeah, the one where you paid like a monthly thing, you pay as many games as you want. Same wavelength. Same wavelength. But yeah, I mean, that probably don't exist anymore, I wouldn't think.
That's where you pay a penny and you get 9 games.
Oh, I don't know if it was like the, the CD thing.
The Columbia House?
Yeah, the Columbia House in the magazine where you had to fill it out and send it back in.
No wonder they went bankrupt, right?
Yeah, no, absolutely. They should have went digital. It would have worked. All right, next opinion on here. I don't know if you've done this or not, David.
Looks like GameFly is still a thing.
Huh.
So
hey.
they'll fly the games to you via a drone.
They'll drop it right on you.
All right.
I mean, you would think it would be digital, I guess. I don't know. Download them all. Anyway, Team Builder has been everything I expected and more. Have you dove into Team Builder?
I have not done that yet.
I've been seeing a lot of people saying you can just really go down some serious rabbit holes and like recreate teams from different eras and fields and stuff like that. Dynasty has been pretty good. Need to fix the sim. Recruiting is perfect.
Haven't done any simming at all, so I have no idea how that works out.
So when it says sim, like, is that simulating a game? Okay,
yeah. So
gotcha.
I had no idea how that plays out, but I will say recruiting, man, the more that you do it, the better that you get at it. I just got a 5-star wide receiver out of Chipley, Florida, Elijah Gillum, which obviously, but one thing I'll say about recruiting, and it started to kind of surface, I noticed it at first, but I didn't really look. There was a kid on there, a kid on there, Jeff Epstein. They have a lot of names in those recruiting classes. It's like, oh, y'all let somebody go kind of Tom Clancy, Clandestine on you.
Absolutely. Interesting.
Very interesting.
All right. This is very opinionated. Defense is downright awful. Too much scoring, hard to get stops.
I think that is opinionated. I mean, I've seen a lot of high-scoring games on there, but I've also, I mean, one of the first games that I played against a actual human being in real life was my buddy Dalton, and I was down 20-6 with the fourth quarter left to go, and I scored on a pick six and scored on a fumble recovery in the end zone and ended up coming back to win that game. So I would say defense, I mean, it
depends on the scenario, right?
Are you going into the game with an offensive mindset, or are you going into the game with a defensive mindset? That's the thing. Are you going to work on your defense, or are you going to sit there and just play on the defensive line, or are you going to take your linebacker and do what you need to do with him? Are you going to play the ball, or are you going to play the receiver? There's so many different aspects. That's the thing, is you've got to dive deep into this game.
Definitely.
Which Madden has been the same way, though.
Yeah.
So
absolutely. Next one was, can the O-line please block people and not give up 9 sacks a game?
Okay, so here's the thing. I did take the game down from All-American because I had no shot, man. I was losing every single. I was 2-5, right? And so I put it down to varsity, which I'll still say has been not as much of a challenge. But I want to find like that happy medium in between, because it's almost like, well, all right, they scored on me. I know I'm going to. And then there's certain plays that you're going to be able to manipulate on certain levels. So I want to be able to find that happy medium. But as I get better, I'll go up to All-American, then eventually get to Heisman. So we'll see. We'll see about that.
Absolutely.
But yes, when you're on All-American, that
you better get the ball out quick.
It might as well be Colorado's offensive line, no matter who you got.
Goodness.
Well, I know, like, our coach, Kirby, is, like, oblivious to EA Sports 25. I was seeing something earlier.
Why would he?
Well,
he's got to focus on...
He does real recruiting.
But I wonder if there are any coaches, SEC coaches. I think Lane Kiffin would be one that would be kind of all involved in this. But
I don't think about all involved. They just don't got enough
just
time.
No time.
Yeah.
And it's a time-consuming game for the most part. Now, you could... turn recruiting on automatic and just play the games and stuff, but I highly doubt any college football coaches that are at this time of the year. Absolutely not.
Yeah,
maybe from the month of the end of January to like the beginning of February, but then you got to get right back on the trail anyway. So I mean, it's 24/7, 365 in college.
Yeah,
I'd say there's a higher tendency that NFL coaches would play this game.
Yep.
Sure. Yeah.
Good question, though. Good question. The drum soundtrack is the most annoying thing of all time. I don't know what that relates to.
I would imagine that is just like how it used to be back in the day, where you would just have drum. But honestly, I don't spend very much time in the menu.
Yeah.
And half the time, I don't even have the sound on. I've got ESPN or some other sport playing on another TV. That's what I'm listening to, and then I just got the game playing.
Yeah. There you go, Jay Henley. Yeah. Parker got it yet?
Multitasking.
Say what?
Has Parker got it yet?
No, he called me last night, and we're making a decision here in the next few days.
Absolutely.
We're going to be together next week, I believe. For a week, and we're going to get some games in.
Okay. Yeah. There you go.
He said something about the $100 version and the $150 version.
The $150 is the combo with Madden, right?
Yeah.
That's what I did.
Yeah.
It was $134 when you got it on EA Play. You get a 10% discount.
I think you can go standard edition at this point because the deluxe edition's what came with like the early gameplay and all that stuff. So I don't know, but yeah, that'll be fun.
It will be.
That'll be fun. All right, we're gonna pivot to one of your favorite sports there, Jay.
Hockey?
Nope. Yeah. There's no hockey going on right now.
Okay.
Yeah, there's stuff going on in the off season, but not worth reporting. That's for sure. But I finally did it. Finally sent a text to David Hayes and said, hey, who's going to win the NASCAR race today? Because there's been so many times he's picked the winner, and it came to fruition yesterday.
No way.
Hey, I asked him who to pick to win. He said Kyle Larson. Guess who won the race?
Larson.
Kyle Larson. He ended up winning, only leading about 8 laps, but it was a crazy race. I actually watched quite a bit of it. I think they had 8 or 9 cautions. They had a red flag towards the end. Kyle Larson had the most fuel since the last pit, worked his way all the way back up, and I think he was sitting in about 4th or 5th place-ish, and Denny Hamlin was a little further back because I had done a either one bet just to kind of hedge it a little bit, and Hamlin kind of fell out, but...
Just using all my drivers.
That's right. Hey, this isn't our pick'em. This is trying to make some money.
Right, yeah.
But yeah, no, it was a great finish to the race. It ended up finishing in overtime. They had a caution come out with 3 laps to go, so ended up going into overtime. And then there was another caution with the last lap, but they let it go to white flag, and Kyle Larson had worked his way to the front, and he made a great move, I think, on Blaney, if I'm not mistaken, with about 6-7 laps to go, got himself into that 3rd position, and then the leader, I forget who, I think was Keselowski, I think was leading. He ran out of fuel.
Okay.
So it just, all these things just worked themselves into fruition, and then the white flag came out, and Kyle Larson got the dub in the caution, and I was pretty happy.
Yeah, that's cool.
It was exciting, though. I'd never... And Kyle Larson, he tried to do the double, or he ended up doing the double, but because that race was so delayed, so winning the his 27th or 28th career win, and his first one ever there at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway at the Brickyard.
That's awesome.
Jay, when it comes to Indianapolis, do you prefer the oval Brickyard 400, or do you like the road course more?
Man, I've never been a big fan of neither.
You don't like the Brickyard 400?
I don't know. It's
I really enjoyed that yesterday. Outside of all of the cautions, but I mean that's what's going to happen when guys are racing hard.
I know personally, I like high bank. I like speed.
I mean, they were going 190.
Were they? I guess on the front stretch, but then they're probably 115 in the turns. Maybe there's just not a lot of banking. I don't think at Indy.
That's why there was a lot of wrecks.
It could be.
I'm thinking because you just didn't have as much grip, and people were kind of coming into the turns different ways, and they'd slide up and hit a car, and boom.
But I've never been.
Did Kyle Busch finish the race?
I don't think so. He wrecked late in the race within the last 15 laps because
that's like 7 out of his last 8 races.
He wasn't happy. That's for sure.
Kyle Busch.
But it is, the more I watch, and I've watched it before, but when you're really paying attention to certain drivers and stuff like that, I mean the tires, the fuel, it's just it's very strategic and it's exciting. It's fun to watch. I really enjoyed it yesterday.
Good.
There's a lot that goes into it, man. And I tell you, just over the last 4 or 5 years, honestly, with starting off with Dr. Tom and then having RJ Starcevic. Kid's only 19 years old. He's on the Afternoon Underdogs with us every Monday at 4:20. But the attention to detail that he pays and then relays to us, man, very thankful for that. And it's also helped me keen in on watching them races.
Yeah, absolutely, and making you pick some winners.
Yeah, so for others, Ryan gets the pass, but for others, a little 10% of your winnings, and I'll help you out.
It's the VIG. It's the VIG, right? It's what people pay to get gambling advice. And
I think I need to start my own channel, man.
There you go. You should. Ralph Jackson.
Right? Yeah.
It's not you. It's Ralph Jackson moonlighting as David Hayes.
On to something here.
Just start a whole new Venmo.
I'm in. Yeah. I'm in. Let's do this.
I need to go get me like a beard like Duck Dynasty Psy or something like that.
Yep.
Give me a little whistle when I talk a little bit.
Absolutely. Sitting on the front porch in a rocking chair, corncob pipe, giving NASCAR picks.
Yes, sir.
I like it.
RJ.
RJ and RJ.
There you go.
Podcast,
you got Round the Track with RJ Starcevic, and you got How You Win Money with RJ or with Ralph Jackson. 101.
We'll do our own podcast together.
Oh man,
all sports.
That's some good stuff there. No
Table
doubt.
tennis at the forefront of it.
See, I jumped into that once and I was like, holy crap, this is fast. And I was like, well, there goes $5.
Dude, and then you got me. Then I started I'm sitting outside all right, Radlow.
Well, and like you said, you can pull up the actual game footage, not just telling you what it's doing. Actually watch what it's doing. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yep. I won $15 after you.
I lost 5 very quickly.
Now, look, did you do a NASCAR bet in race? Because I've never been able to do that. Was that
think
before the
with
race?
Hard Rock, you have to do it before the race.
You do, and I did it right before the race.
Okay.
And they had this. They have all these specials too, and it gets pretty crazy. But they had some specials like this person finishes in the top 3. It was plus 10,000. They had multiple ones where what I did is it was Denny Hamlin or Kyle Larson to win. I think it was plus 180. Okay. So I didn't just bet Kyle Larson. I'm sure the odds on that would have been better. But so they had a lot of other specials too to kind of hedge without having to do your own bet. They create the bet for you.
That's cool.
Yeah, because the one race that I did bet on this year, I picked the winner of that one, and it was plus 2,400. So I won, or 20 plus 20 or plus 2,100 because I won $22 off a buck.
Nice. Yeah,
$10 would have been 2,100.
Yep.
Do we have a caller on the line?
No, I got.
Is he still there?
I don't know. We can try.
I wanted to get the NASCAR action in, but he can. I'm sure it has to do with college football, if I had to guess. Travis, you there?
I am here.
Sorry for keeping you waiting so long. I had to get that NASCAR plug for Ralph Jackson Betting 101.
Right. It's all good.
What you got for us? How are you doing this Monday morning?
Really hot outside, I'll tell you that.
That it is.
But I was just going to put in there, the GameFly still does exist.
Yeah, David found that. And do you know how it works this day and age with everything being so digital?
No, I don't, because my PlayStation is nothing but digital. So
yeah,
I couldn't rent games with disc anyway. I wish I would have got the disc version, but at the time that I bought the PlayStation, it had just came out. So you paid a lot of money, a lot more than it's worth, and you got what you got.
Gotcha. Oh, that's right. So there was a disc and a digital version of the PlayStation.
Yeah.
See, I just think because I have the disc or Liam has the disc version, I should say. And you can still do all the digital stuff, but you can do a disc as well. And it was actually, I just saw on the Ring camera, it was just delivered. So we finally have it, and hopefully Liam will go grab it, get it downloaded, updated, and all that. So later on tonight, I might be able to dive into it with him. So, but yeah.
You haven't played it yet?
No. I did I ordered it where it would be shipped. And it's not coming till today, but it actually worked out fine because I really don't have the time that Liam has to play it, so it'll be good.
I've got to get the gamer tag and at least play a game.
Yeah, well, give me a little while to remember how to play, and I just don't play hardly often because it's in Liam's room. He's capitalized it, and he's a lot better at all these things than I am. That's
Capitalism, baby.
That's it.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I've just came to the fact that I'm just not that good. Yesterday, I kept on losing, kept on getting stacked, kept on, I changed it back to freshman so I could dominate everybody.
There you go.
Won the national championship, so.
Nice. That's what Jay does in his junior camps. He just plays all the kids that are 8 years old so he can win again.
Well, as you get older, your hand-eye coordination just isn't there.
Speak for yourself.
I mean, I used to,
Amen, brother. Speak for yourself.
I used to tailgate people.
Don't lump us in this. You can't tailgate people anymore?
I can't do that no more. My reaction time is just not there.
Yeah.
You probably shouldn't be doing that in the first place.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Road rage is okay.
I mean, as soon as I put it on varsity, I cannot get an open receiver and maybe it's just me. Maybe, like I said, I do not know how to read a defense. I cannot figure it out. I just kind of...
Coach Dan Casey on Instagram. Go watch all. He's got great plays. He's a offensive play guru, and he's just, because you do, like David said last week, you need to know how to play the game of football, I think, to be successful in this game. Because
at least know the tendencies of what the defense is going to be doing.
You see the lineup, and you know where your holes are going to be and all that.
You never had to do that. Like on Madden, I've noticed I can play pro on Madden, which is equivalent to varsity on college. But with pro on Madden, I don't, have to necessarily read the defense. I usually get an open receiver, at least 40, 50, 60% of the time, somewhere around in there. But in college football, it's so hard to figure it out. If you do not call the right plays and they get the right defense, which the CPU is actually really good, you will throw a pick. You'll look at a player, you'll think he's open, and then you look about 5 yards, and there's a guy there, and he's just going to come pick it off.
I think a lot of it actually has to do with the AI of the defense, and they start to get accustomed to what it is that you're doing, and they'll light you up.
And I'm a passing guy. I like passing, and
got to be balanced.
Florida seems to be a running. With Montrell, he's actually really good in the game. So I've got to get used to doing, the balancing, run it a few times, get the defense used to the run, and then I'm starting to figure out coverage shells too.
Just like real football.
Blitz. But showing blitz when I'm in a cover.
If it's as real as you guys are saying that it is, I mean, like if Georgia plays University of Louisiana Monroe, it doesn't matter what good player you are, you're going to lose by 60 if it's real, right?
Not necessarily.
So I actually was now like on varsity. So the first game is Miami, and I had a hard time with them. The second game was Stanford, but they don't have Stanford in the game, so it was some random team somebody built called the FCS Pandas, and I crushed them.
I would hope so. They're pandas.
They are pandas.
Trash pandas?
Crushed them like bamboo, baby.
But even on varsity, I was getting 40, 50 points, and they were sitting at like 7-14. It was not even close. But then I played the next one. I can't remember who it was, but it was an SEC team, I believe, and I had a really difficult time. I think it might have been Texas A&M, but they beat me. No, it was Texas that beat me with a last minute. I drove down the field, went to go kick it, and the kicking mechanics and the home field advantage mean so much that I completely shanked the kick and lost in the last few seconds.
Hey, Trav, I got to let you end on that one because we're about 4 minutes over. Drive safe out there and keep working because I want to hear you get better and learn a little bit more about the regular game of football. It'll translate to when you watch this fall as well. But be safe out there, and we'll talk to you soon, I'm sure. You guys listen to the Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida.
America's team plays here.
And a rocket to right field. This thing is into orbit.
The Atlanta Braves on ESPN Northwest Florida. Acuna, Ozzie, and Austin Riley lead the Braves' high-powered offense.
Swung on, belted, deep right field. Get out of here, Ozzie. Home run. Ball game.
The Atlanta Braves on ESPN Northwest Florida is sponsored by Brock's Pest Control, Store More Portable Buildings, Reliable Hydraulic Solutions, Billberg Kia, and Mid-South Lumber.
Attention homeowners, are you dreaming of a backyard oasis? Look no further than S&R Fencing, your go-to destination for quality outdoor transformations. At S&R, they specialize in crafting custom fences, decks, retainer walls, and all exterior construction that not only enhances the beauty of your home, but also stands the test of time. Their experienced team takes pride in delivering top-notch craftsmanship with a personal touch. S&R Fencing, locally owned, licensed, and insured, and a member of the BBB.
You owe the IRS back taxes, and dealing with the IRS stresses you out. Fortunately, IRS Problem Relief can help you resolve back taxes and represent you to the IRS so you don't have to face them alone. Last year, IRS Problem Relief saved clients drowning in tax debt, and IRS Problem Relief is a local company right here in Panama City, not some 800 number where you can never talk to the the same person twice. Put those problems behind you so you can focus on moving forward. Call Edward Corey with IRS Problem Relief, 850-784-8176. For a free consultation, call Edward Corey with IRS Problem Relief. It's 850-784-8176 or visit irsproblemrelief.com.
Welcome to the Inside Drive, the next big thing.
It's a big, huge, giant deal.
Sports betting, huge reactions, your calls and real-time coverage of the stories you're following. Broadcasting from the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine Outdoor Studios on ESPN Northwest Florida.
And we are back. You're listening to the Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. Second hour of the show, Jay, Michael Shear is going to hang out with us.
That is the plan.
I am looking forward to it. We won't talk about the Florida Open yet until he gets here.
Yes, sir.
I'm excited to talk to him, excited to bring him in. Obviously, we'll open with our Afternoon Delight debrief segment, talk a little bit about his stuff, and I got some fun topics. But it was a tough weekend for Team USA on the hard court.
Uh-oh.
Did you pay any attention to that?
Is it the women or the men?
It's not just one of them. It's both.
Oh, both?
Both of them.
Now, USA did win, but have you ever heard of this? South Sudan. It's the youngest country in the world. It's making its Olympic debut, has 0 current NBA players, and of course, Team USA is your 4-time defending Olympic champion. And they needed a layup from LeBron James with 8 seconds left in the game to win, to avoid one of the most shocking losses in the team's history. Now, not only did LeBron make the layup with 8 seconds, but South Sudan went down the court and had 2 or 3 opportunities to have a layup or a putback to beat Team USA. So very surprising scare there. What does that foreshadow for the Olympics, Jay?
That is not good.
That is not good.
I don't know what else to say.
Yeah, they've kind of playing these exhibition games leading up to the Olympics, that the opening ceremonies get underway this Friday. But tomorrow USA will play an exhibition game against Germany, who won the FIBA World Cup last summer. But do you think they turn it on? There's some kind of switch. Maybe they're just not putting it all, or do you think we're seeing the case of all the individual superstars not meshing well together?
I don't know. I'm still researching South Sudan. I did not know they were in the East African continent, if you will.
Absolutely. Africa is a continent.
Ethiopia.
Yeah, the newest country, the world's youngest country, which is newest, it's the same thing.
I'm still flabbergasted by this.
I think you and most of the USA basketball fans are certainly flabbergasted. Coach Steve Kerr took responsibility for allowing the team to let its guard down after a travel day and against an opponent who on paper was such a massive underdog. So, maybe I should have looked for the South Sudan plus however many points they had and bet the farm on that one, because it sounds like whatever the line is, they certainly covered.
Culture is everything, and their culture maybe a little, much different than the American culture.
Hey, we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
And then on the flip side, later, Team USA in the All-Star game played Team WNBA, and they lost to Team WNBA beat Team USA 117-109. Game MVP Arike Agunbawe, if I pronounced that correctly, she went off for Team WNBA in the second half when she scored all of her 34 points, a WNBA All-Star game record, in that second half. Angel Reese, of course, had a double-double, and Caitlin Clark dished out 10 assists. Brianna Stewart and Asia Wilson, two-time WNBA MVPs, combined for 53 points for Team USA, but Team WNBA's second half run exposed some of the defensive weaknesses. The Olympic team also faces Germany on Tuesday for its first real exhibition, for whatever that means. The coolest part of the WNBA All-Star game, Jay?
What's that?
Is that people actually cared. Yeah.
It was a real basketball game. They were playing to win, and I think that's what made it so much fun. That's for sure. A little fun fact from the three-point contest. On Friday, Alicia Gray became the first player to win both the skills challenge and three-point contest in the same night, walking away with more than $110,000 in prize money, which is not far off from her full season league salary of $185,000. What do you think for Team USA on both sides in the Olympics? Gold medal for both of them. I think Team USA on the women's side is I don't know if they've ever lost, but
from the women's side, it seems like the WNBA, like the Olympic team, should just give the jerseys over to the WNBA. There should have been a Hunger Games type situation where it's like, hey, whoever wins this game, or are the WNBA players? Some of them are not from America. I don't know. But
I'm sure there's a few that aren't. But yeah, I don't know. And it's, this is different than when you get over there to France and Paris and are actually, competing for games that quote unquote matter. And, maybe that's sometimes one of those things that, when you're actually playing a game, if you lose the game, it's just going to be embarrassing. But, now it's going to count here come, I think the basketball gets underway pretty early on.
From the men's standpoint, though, Ryan, has always been showboating, right? I mean, and when you got five players that are actually playing for their country and not showboating and playing the fundamentals of the game, they can beat anybody.
Yeah,
I mean, that's my thought on it. But
well, and like we talk about, the Olympic basketball is certainly different than regular basketball. Here, I'm trying to find out when regular basketball starts. Here, let's see. I got it. The 27th of July, so Saturday. Men's basketball group play gets underway. I believe the women's basketball right shortly thereafter it. So the United States will play their first game, if I'm looking at this correctly, on July 28th against Serbia. That kicks off at 10:15, and I'm going to assume that's the local time. So we'll dive into more of that stuff. But hey, not a lot of time until that first game coming up on Sunday. And excited to dive into the Olympics and kind of pay attention to how all that's going and talk about some different sports than we usually do. That's for sure.
Yep.
Excuse me. Jay.
Yes.
The Braves. Been a tough go, and another injury and another change to things. They lost 2 out of 3 this past series against the Cardinals, and they start another series against the Reds starting today. But as we've talked about, they've been decimated by injuries this season, losing several key their contributors, including Spencer Strider, Ronald Acuna Jr., Michael Harris, Sean Murphy, Max Fried, and they've had to bring a lot of veterans in, and the Braves are reportedly going that route again with this gentleman's name. I don't really know Whit Merrifield, but sounds like kind of a veteran in the league that's been around for a while. He's going to come in to fill that hole at second base with Ozzie Albies now out with an injury as well.
Fractured wrist for old Ozzie.
Been a tough
Max
go this
Fried
year.
to the IL.
Yeah.
Whit Merrifield is a guy who the Phillies put a $9 million flyer on this year, and they just released him like right before the All-Star game or right after the All-Star game. So, yeah, now we're just eating the Phillies sloppy seconds. Now, the difference is sometimes these guys will get into a new lineup, especially with a lineup like the Braves, and start producing. However, it's hard to see that. Most of the time you see these guys come from a lineup that struggles.
Yeah.
The Phillies have been the opposite of struggling. So I scratch my head with this move, but I do believe that they called up Nacho Alvarez. So I think that'll be interesting to see how that plays out.
Yeah, there you go. What do you think, Jay?
Injuries, it's going to be a tough go the next few months, it sounds like.
Yeah, it's been a tough season so far.
8.5 games back behind Philly right now. I don't know where we're sitting in the wild card, but this could go. I think is the trade deadline still July 31st? I mean,
yeah, absolutely.
You kind of got to lock in what you got here in the next few days.
Coming up, July 31st is going to be next Tuesday? Yeah, next Tuesday. Jeez, school starts 2 weeks from Wednesday.
Oh, my God.
Ooh, wouldn't it be Wednesday because tomorrow's
Probably,
the 23rd?
yeah.
Yeah.
You guys agreed with me. Yeah, next Wednesday.
Well.
Next Wednesday. Crazy stuff. School getting ready to go. Ugh, I don't like it. Liam, apparently he got it because he asked me which team it's just telling me what team do you want to accept. I think that's probably something from the beginning of the game that you just choose.
Probably like your favorite team.
Okay, yeah.
So go with the Tide, Liam.
Nah, he said Auburn or Coastal. I'm going to say Coastal.
Coastal, yeah.
There you go. Michael Shears in the house. We got a break coming up real quick.
Hey, did y'all's parents, like a week before summer ended, did they try to get you back into that routine of getting up at 6:30 in the morning, or did y'all just go all in?
I can't remember, but that's a question I'm going to have to figure out here pretty quickly because we have not been getting up at 6, and because I got to be there at 7:15. So they got to be up and at 'em, but they have certainly been not getting up at that time. So it's hard to kind of pretend to do that because you don't have to do that until you have to do it.
Until you have to do it.
You can't just start be like a drill sergeant.
Yeah.
All right, up and at 'em, we're going to school. And then you just drive around the block.
Yeah,
All right,
or we
back.
go for a run, something like that. But
trial run.
But yeah, no, you just got to pull the Band-Aid off. You like to think that you catch up the next day because you're so tired that the next day you go to bed at a reasonable time.
And then you just find out and you're just losing sleep at a high rate.
There you go. There you go. One more quick thing before we take a break. Jake Paul registered a 6th-round TKO victory over bare-knuckle fighter Mike Perry on Saturday down there in Dave's old stomping grounds in an 8-round cruiserweight boxing match. With the win, Paul maintained his November 15th showdown with the 58-year-old Mike Tyson that was originally scheduled for that night. Paul, a social media star turned boxer, floored Perry 3 times before the referee halted the bout with 1 minute and 12 seconds left in the 6th round. He's tough as nails. I just hit too hard and he took a lot of damage, Paul said. Mike Tyson, you're next. It's anyone, anytime, any place.
Which that's not a true statement right there.
Absolutely, because
whoever he wants.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I mean, interesting fight there, and we'll get you in the ring here sometime soon, Jay, and because anyone, anywhere, any place, we'll make it happen.
Let's go.
All right, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back. Michael Shears will be joining us for the second hour here on the Inside Drive. We'll be right back.
For 7 years, ESPN Northwest Florida has been your destination on the Panhandle for the Atlanta Braves.
He just blew the doors off that thing.
But our listeners are the real MVP.
Another dominating performance.
So this year, we're giving away more tickets to Truist Park than ever before. Keep listening to win family 4-packs to experience the Atlanta Braves. From ESPN Northwest Florida, PCB Hobby, Pepsi, Fairfield, Hampton Inn on Thomas, and Home 2 Suites.
Good morning. This is Joanna with your latest forecast on ESPN Northwest Florida. For this afternoon and evening, mostly sunny and a chance of thunderstorms and a high of 88 with wind 8 to 12 miles per hour out of the south-southwest. A possibility of thunderstorms and mostly clear skies tonight and quite warm near 82. Partly cloudy in the morning and then likely thunderstorms and 89 tomorrow. 85 indefinite thunderstorms and light showers Wednesday. This is your Monday's weather brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. Thank you for tuning into ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
With over 65 years of combined experience, Instant Replay Sports Cards is happy to help you take your collection to the next level. They carry all the new hobby boxes, signed memorabilia, and supplies. New and vintage cards and Pokemon. They sell and trade cards and are always looking to buy. They're an authorized source for Topps, Panini, Upper Deck, and Leaf cards. Instant Replay Sports Cards is open 7 days a week at 752 West 23rd Street, down from Academy Sports. It can always be reached at InstantReplaySportsCards.com.
When you use Bounce dryer sheets and your clothes look amazing, it's the sheet. Less static in your life? Yeah, it's the sheet. Smelling fresher than ever? It's the sheet. Oh, so soft fabric? Ooh la la. It's the sheet. Less wrinkles on your clothes? You know it's the sheet. Bounce dryer sheets. More freshness, more softness. Less static, less wrinkles. It's the sheet.
WGSX Lynn Haven, WVLQ Port St. Joe. Powered by Panama City Toyota.
And that's out of the ballpark.
ESPN, Northwest Florida.
Sky rockets in flight.
And now, the afternoon delight debrief with the three degenerates from the Inside Drive.
2 women allegedly took a dead man through a bank drive-thru to withdraw cash.
Live from the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine and Outdoor Studios.
Is this Weekend at Bernie's?
Afternoon delight.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Sky rockets in flight. Afternoon delight.
And we are back. You're listening to the Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. 104.3 in Panama City Beach. 101.9 in Port St. Joe. Facebook, Twitch, YouTube. Just search it up, ESPN Northwest Florida. And then, of course, you can download our free mobile app inside the Google Play or Apple Store. That one you do need to search 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Of course, you can always follow us on TikTok as well, Inside.Drive. And then, of course, ESPNPC.com at any time. Want to thank our studio sponsor. That's Bill Kramer GM and Kramer Marine and Outdoor. Jay, where are they located?
The corner of 23rd and Frankfurt.
Absolutely, the mecca of boat and car dealerships. The GM side, they got lots of new vehicles in stocks. The 24s are wanting to roll out for those 25s to come in. Still don't understand how that all works, but Bill Kramer GM's got great deals on those 24s. They can also get you in and out with express service, regular service, tires at cost, all that right there at Bill Kramer GM. And then, of course, we're winding down the summer fishing season because school's getting going here in a couple weeks. July is ending, and I think one of the season ends at the end of July. Is it snapper season that ends? Yeah, I know they got a couple weekends in the fall as well that they've added, but your time's running out. If you're wanting to get out there on the water and you don't have a boat, Kramer Marine and Outdoor will take care of you. If you got a boat that's not working quite right, they'll take care of you as well. They either come to you or you can bring it in. They'll get you back out on the water ASAP with their Yamaha outboard full-line dealer, 2 Yamaha Master Certified mechanics on staff. They do sell the family of CRI boats. That's Seabourn, Spider, Sundance, and Skeeter. Check out all that new and used inventory at KramerMarineandOutdoor.com. Like Jay said, at the corner of Frankfurt and 23rd Street. Michael, good to have you in studio again. Last time we talked to you, you were getting ready for the Florida Open, and now here you are with a great finish in the Florida Open. So congratulations on that.
Appreciate it. Good to be back.
Yeah, definitely. Tell us a little bit about, it's a 3-round tournament. Obviously, the biggest open tournament in the state of Florida, hosted by the Florida State Golf Association. I think it was their 78th championship. Just tell her a little bit about the event. Obviously, it was 3 rounds. You got off to was that a 1-over? Was it a par 72?
Correct. Par 72.
1-over start. Good start to the round, and then of course Saturday you followed up with a great round of 67 with a 31 on the front side, and then closed out your final round with 3 birdies on the back 9, shooting 33 for a nice third round 69. Ended up being tied for 9th, getting you a nice little check and exemption into next year's tournament.
For sure, it was a lot of fun. This was the first Florida Open that I had played in.
Nice.
Obviously, only been down here for 2 years.
Absolutely.
Didn't qualify last year. Had a little hiccup on 17. So good to get down there this year. And they played it at 2 awesome golf courses in Golden Ocala Golf and Equestrian Club, and then the Country Club of Ocala.
Okay.
So a lot of fun.
Played on 2. Sweet.
So played round 1 at Golden Ocala, and then round 2 was over at the Country Club, and then they cut it to the top 60 in ties, which I think this year was 70 players on the dot.
Gotcha.
And then the final round was back at Golden Ocala.
Nice.
What's the topography over there in Ocala? Is it hilly?
Whoa.
Did I say topography?
You used a big word
Whoa.
there. Shoe polish.
It was, I would classify it as like rolling, but not hilly.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't flat. Like I would say Bay Point's flat.
Yeah.
But there was a little bit of, undulation here and there. But
that's another big word.
Nothing too crazy. There was a couple shots that played 3 or 4 yards uphill or downhill, but other than that, it was pretty level.
Yeah.
So and very, very, very hot.
Equestrian, yeah, you're right in the middle of there's not anywhere near the coast.
Yeah. No wind, 92 degrees, and it felt like 120.
Right. Man. So what would you say? You've been working. What kind of led to the top 10 finish and the success you had this year at the Florida Open?
Yeah, I think number one, when you've got 2 golf courses and 156 guys, there's going to be plenty of people that play well, but at the same time, it's a large enough field and a large enough cut where it's always going to be around that, 2 under, even par, 2 over mark. So you really just got to stay patient. And if you go in and just try to hit a bunch of greens and kind of rely on your putter, like that's typically a pretty good strategy. So it's just keep the ball in front of you and go on those little runs when you can. So like you mentioned, I shot 31 on the front in the second round. So didn't really hit it great in the first round, but hung in there.
Yeah.
And then I think I birdied 1, 3, 4, and 5 to open up that second round. And that got me kind of right in the thick of things and just kind of ran from there. So, you know, there's no secret to going out and playing well and having success.
No doubt.
You I mean, it takes a little bit of work, and I think probably Jay can speak to this, but I've been doing some good swing work, working hard on kind of my takeaway, and I think it's finally getting where it needs to be. And you know, over the course of these last couple months, just playing a bunch, I've been able to tighten up the little things. And when that one kind of missing piece clicks, usually you can run with it. So,
well, you know, it was about a year ago that you played in your first professional event over at Legacy. What's the difference now? I feel like you're probably having more fun. I mean,
I think you gain perspective after playing for a whole year. And also, I thought it helped. I rode, so in the State Open, you ride, which I think most State Opens are like that.
Yeah.
So we were in carts, and I was riding the first 2 days with a 17-year-old, and he was an amateur, first time playing in a State Open, and he was obviously super nervous and hit the ball great, made the cut, you know, shot I think 2 under in the second round to make the cut by 2 or 3. So played very well, but like was very visibly nervous, like didn't really know how to play golf, but you could tell he had a lot of talent. And so I think getting to watch that, it was just like, it's just not that serious.
Right.
And so you can kind of go out there and, you know, if I hit a bad drive, I hit a bad drive.
Yeah.
If I play great, I play great. And it's just one golf tournament. Like, it's not going to change your life one way or the other. So just go out there and have fun.
And that's what's changed in the last year for you feel like?
For sure. And it's not always that easy. Like, there's certainly pressure when I go to these tournaments. I mean, you know, you go play well, you can maybe get your money back, and if you don't, you're out a bunch of money. So it all matters, and like every shot counts. Literally, every single shot makes a difference.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, you've just got to look at the bigger picture of like, it's a process. It's 1 week's not going to do anything for you at this level.
Right. Now, I know, speaking with you earlier this year, you had a few goals for 24. One of them was to win one of the Emerald Coast tournaments. Do you feel like this kind of is the same thing, finishing top 10 at the Florida State Open, or do you still want that Emerald Coast victory?
I still want the victory. I think there's just, no matter where you win, like, a win's a win. Yeah. I mean, somebody at every single golf tournament is going to have a good week. So to show up and win, like, regardless of where you're playing, like, you've got to play good golf. Now, a top 10 in the Florida Open, to me, is it's a big deal. It's not easy to do. It's not easy to get in the Florida Open. You know, we were talking right before we came on, it's a 156-man field, and there was like 113 guys that were exempt into it. So you take everybody else in the state of Florida that wants to play, and they've got to qualify for those 43 spots, I think, is the math on that. So you've got all these people qualifying for 43 spots. So once you get one of those 43 spots, then you've got to show up and beat, I guess, to finish top 10, 146 players. So it's no small task, and I'm certainly proud that I went in and played 3 solid days of golf, but there's still a lot more out there.
And how does that help your confidence moving into the last half of 2024?
For sure. I mean, I think it's, you know, it was a good week, and it's nice to leave a tournament and feel like, you know, you got better. And sure, I'm going to dwell on my 3-putt on the last hole a little bit, but at the same time, like, it doesn't really matter. It didn't make a huge difference, and overall did have a great week. So, you know, I play again into this week up in Albany, Georgia, and then I'll probably have a couple of weeks off and then start really getting ready for Q School, which I think is going to be the second week of October. And it's actually, I'm going to try to sign up for the slot, which is at Ocala Country Club, where I shot 67. So,
there you go.
Didn't really know anything about the place, but obviously saw it this week for the first time, and think it fits my game really well. So hopefully I'll get slotted down there and can get off to a good start in Q School.
Yeah, that'd be awesome, man. Just looking at the stats from the Open, one of the things that I noticed that was kind of consistent with some of the people that finished high up is you had 14 birdies, 33 pars, 7 bogeys, but 0 others. Double bogeys are better. And how important is it just to, like you were saying, you hit fairways, you take what it gives you. How important is it not to, push too hard where you can bring these big mistakes, which can play you right out of it?
It's huge. We've always talked about doubles are so much harder to recover from than bogeys.
Absolutely.
Like, you're just going to make bogeys. You can hit 2 good shots and still make a bogey. That's just golf. It's not always fair, and you get bad breaks. But doubles are really, really, really tough, especially if you make them without a penalty shot. Now, every now and then, if you hit the wrong club off a tee and make an uncommitted swing, like you may hit one out of bounds or in the water, and stuff like that's going to happen over time.
Yeah.
But typically the guys that have the best weeks stay away from those big numbers.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, and the photo that I saw from one of your social media posts, to me, it looked like a Royal Troon photo. I mean...
So that was a replica course. So
Golden Ocala is it's 18 holes of replica holes.
8 of the holes out there were modeled after like famous holes across the country. Or I say country, across the world.
Okay.
So they had the postage stamp from Royal Troon, which was kind of cool. I mean, it was just coincidentally the same week that they were playing at Troon, which was neat.
Cool.
And then they had the 11th hole at Golden Ocala was modeled after the 12th hole at Augusta, the par 3. And then the next hole right after that was modeled after 13, the par 5 at Augusta. So it was 11 and 12 at Golden Ocala, but it was 12 and 13 from Augusta. So you got to play those back to back, which was neat. And then they had the road hole from St. Andrews, 17, which was, from what I could tell, pretty accurate. Obviously, there's not a hotel, not a hotel right there, but they had a nice brick wall that kind of jutted out and then kind of ran along the fairway, which was out of bounds if you hit it right.
That's cool.
And then the green was modeled after St. Andrews. And then the next hole was number 1 at St. Andrews, the opening hole in golf. So it was, I think, fairly accurate. They had a little... Is it burn or berm? Berm. So they had a little berm running across the front of the green. It was like 400 yards, but it was neat.
That's cool. What about service-wise? They take good care of you down there at Golden
Yeah, they
Ocala?
did. So, I mean, they had a whole list of host hotels that you could stay in, and I mean, that's just kind of part of it. But no, I mean, they had lunch for us every day. I mean, it wasn't anything crazy, but we definitely felt welcome at both courses. So
cool.
That's always a good feeling. On these mini tours, it's not always the case.
Definitely. Well, Florida Open, obviously each golf association has their own open and typically an amateur as well, which are some of the larger tournaments you can play in for that particular state, outside of a professional tour. So again, congratulations, great playing, and
appreciate it.
We look forward to seeing you keep that going right into the fall.
I'm going to try, do my best.
Well, one of the things it really resonated me with what you said is it's just 1 week. If you don't have the best week, it's just 1 week. It's not going to change your path. It's not. But when you go out there and realize that, and then you just start having more fun, typically, obviously, you work hard behind the scenes to get your game where it needs to be, and then you bring it to fruition with having fun and taking a little bit of pressure off yourself. And obviously, a great 3 rounds there at the Florida Open. So cool stuff. Good to see. And it's a feeling. It's just such a feeling and a mentality, and it's so hard to not let your own mind get in the way. But when you have that epiphany, it seems like you're kind of moving in the right direction. So good stuff. All right, Jay, we don't have a whole about 6-7 minutes. Let's dive into some of our afternoon delight debriefs. I know you got one to get us going.
Yeah, but I've got to hold on 1 second because my Google browser. Yeah,
I'll do one then. I'll do one. You only had a lot of time to get this preempted.
Well, I was so involved in Michael Shields.
I don't know what else you got on that computer that took precedent on there.
Well, I was researching the Florida State Golf Association, all this random stuff, right? GameFly, I had GameFly.
GameFly. Did you sign up while you're there?
I didn't. It's just not. Well, it's a lease to own type deal.
Yeah. So what do did they actually physically send you the game still?
Yeah.
Wow.
And then if you like it, then you can buy it.
So it's like the OG Netflix.
Yeah.
Nice.
Exactly. It's
so
crazy.
they're like, you know what? We're just going to keep doing what we're doing. And if you want to keep doing it, that's fine.
We're going to put it in your hands and hope you don't send it back to us.
Yeah.
There you go.
There you go.
All right. So Florida Sheriff's Office warns, and I don't know if we're going to find out what part of Florida this is coming from, but warns against taking selfies with a depressed bear.
How do they know the bear's depressed?
I don't know.
They talk to it.
The Florida Sheriff's Office is reminding residents not to approach bears after onlookers were seen trying to snap selfies with a depressed bear at the side of a highway. Oh, my goodness. This is Walton County.
Of course it is.
Boy.
Of course it is.
Right up the road. Walton County Sheriff's Office said on social media the bear was spotted late last week on the north side of Highway 98 near County Road 83 in Santa Rosa Beach. Famous last words, if not friend, why friends shaped, the post said, because this black bear is stressed, depressed, lemon zest. Stressed, depressed, lemon zest. The sheriff's office said members of the public were seen getting dangerously close to the bear to take selfies. He's clearly not in the mood for pictures. The bear has shown signs of severe stress, the post said.
1 second. When are bears in the mood for pictures?
I don't know.
Come on, Walton County. Anyway, keep going.
Yeah. Is this a black bear or brown? This is a black bear.
Yeah, I think black bears are typically native to our area.
This is big, Ryan. I mean, he's probably been out on Shark's Tooth's ground before.
There's been several out there.
He's, let's see, the sheriff's office said that the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission biologists responded to the scene, but the bear wandered back into the woods on its own. In capital letters, please do not approach black bears at any time, officials wrote, especially those that are showing aggression like this big old fella. Is that the end of it? That's the end of it.
Walton County.
End of story.
It's your favorite, black bears.
Don't take selfies with black bears.
What's the saying?
If it's black, fight back. If it's brown, lay down. If it's white, good night. Like
the bears.
Yep. That's the saying.
I wouldn't follow it. But
Michael's looking at me like, dude.
No, this is so funny because I was listening to a podcast on the way home yesterday. It was Joe Rogan and I think it was Sal Vulcano who was on Impractical Jokers.
I was listening to that the other day.
And they started talking about this. And they were talking about people that just have like, big cats, whether it's a tiger or I don't think people have panthers, but I know people have tigers and lions and whatever. And they started talking about bears. And, I think you're obviously supposed to like just play dead if one's attacking you. And they're like, do you think you really could do that? Or like, would your fight or flight kick in and like, would you run? Because like you're not outlasting a bear.
Yeah.
And like if he wants to kill you, he'll kill you.
Yeah.
Like, it's completely up to him. There's nothing you can do, but you're supposed to just lay there.
Well, and
what if I'm there with another person? You just got to be faster than that person, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess that's a good
But
point.
if you're there by yourself, yeah.
Well, I was watching Inside Edition the other night, and
Inside Edition? That show's still on?
Right after Norah O'Donnell on CBS. But anyways, I'm watching Inside Edition. This 17-year-old girl is out in the Colorado Rockies on a summer hike. This
by
happened
herself?
late last week. Yeah. So she is videoing, right? And she ends up making Inside Edition, but she's videoing, and I love to hear people, bear, don't come towards me. Like, you hear them talk, like, and I'm like, they don't understand what you're saying. Like, don't even like run. Do something.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a good question. I think and you can't really say what you would do until you're put in that situation. But I think if you lay down and that, you're going to get mauled. If you run, you're going to get caught. I think I'm going to go with the old like try to get eye contact and try to get it to go the other way. I think that's your best bet.
Make yourself big.
Yeah, make yourself big. Maybe the bear gets spooked and goes the other way, or it becomes more aggressive. Either way, I feel like you got to take that shot knowing that a bear may be trying to attack you.
Yeah.
That's not, biological advice. That's just what I think I would probably do.
Probably just don't approach it.
Yeah,
in general.
just start walking the other way, maybe.
If there's a bear over there on Highway 98, I don't think I'm going to get out of the car to go. No. I may stop the car and look at it from the car.
No.
But like, we're not going to hop out and go take pictures.
That's just the overall stupidity of our population.
I agree.
Oh, it's a bear. It's so cute and cuddly. No, it can kill you instantaneously.
Yeah.
Now, people that want to have a kangaroo as a pet, I'm totally on board with that. Because, that's just, you got to know how to box. That's all.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just training for Jake Paul.
That's it. He'll fight anything, anywhere. Maybe next Jake Paul versus a bear.
Could be.
Yeah, why not? They've trained bears in the past, in the circus, but it's sad. I want to know how they knew he was depressed.
Yeah, I mean, I guess maybe body language. I don't know.
Maybe.
He's just chilling by this telephone pole, it looks like.
Maybe he's just looking for a friend.
Well, what does a happy bear look like? Well, I mean, what are we basing all this off?
They have a honey jar.
Winnie the Pooh bear.
But look,
we're always on the same page.
I
know, I see him.
He does look depressed. I mean, he's sitting on his hind leg. hit legs. And
normally when I'm sitting on my hind legs like that, I'm in a good mood.
Yeah. Maybe his tummy's upset.
It could be. But
moral of the story, don't approach bears regardless.
Happy or sad.
Happy or sad, black, white, brown. Don't approach the bears, Jay.
Not going to do it.
Because they can smell the... Anyway, we're going to go ahead and take a break. You're listening to the Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida. The afternoon underdogs.
It's the best, easiest martial arts for the average person on the street to learn, protect themselves.
Jiu-jitsu, to me, I would think is the most important. Self-defense martial arts. It teaches you self-discipline. You can choose to hurt somebody, you can choose not to hurt somebody. Depends on their level of stupidity and what they want to do.
4 to 6 weekdays. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good afternoon. This is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with your weather forecast on this Monday. A variety of mostly sunshine and a chance of thunderstorms the remainder of the day with a gentle breeze at 10 miles per hour out of the south-southwest and temps near 88. Tonight we will have a possibility of thunderstorms and mostly clear skies and be quite warm at 82. This forecast is sponsored by Mid-South Lumber, the best little lumber yard in Panama City. Thank you for keeping that dial at ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Hey folks, Chris Kramer with Bill Kramer GM. And the best place to listen to the Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey is inside a brand new vehicle from Bill Kramer GM. And I want you to know we've got 10 times the amount of inventory on the ground as we did this time last year, and darn near all of them are discounted. So shop us online at BillKramerGM.com or visit us the corner of Frankfurt and 23rd. We'll make it easy and take great care of you.
Are you looking for a place to take a leak? Do you have a truck, tractor, or other hydraulic equipment leaking or not performing as it should? At Reliable Hydraulic Solutions, we can get you back to work. Do you have a busted or leaking hose, hydraulic cylinder or pump needing repair? If competitive pricing and a quick turnaround are what matter to your business, come see us at Reliable Hydraulic Solutions, or you can give us a call at 850-326-3000. Reliable Hydraulic Solutions, 6840 Highway 77 in Southport, the best place in town to take a leak.
From the fairway to the rough.
I was hoping to squeeze in 9 holes before this rain starts.
From the greens to the bunker.
Certainly, Your Eminency.
It's the Inside Drive with Ryan and Jay from the Bill Kramer Marine and Outdoor Studio.
The good Lord would never disrupt the best game of my life.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back. You're listening to the Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. Just because I got to say it, because I don't want my dad to be mad, I'm just going to do it briefly. But Taj Pogacar wins 3rd Tour de France. Biniam, Germany becomes the first African cyclist to capture the green jersey. Slovenian cyclist Taj Pogacar won the Tour de France for the 3rd time in his career Sunday and put an exclamation point on his victory by finishing first in the 21-mile time trial that ended in Nice. His overall time was 83 hours, 38 minutes, and 56 seconds. Pogacar finished the final stage of the race in 45 minutes and 24 seconds, while the two-time defending champion Jonas Vingegaard finished 2nd overall and 2nd in the time trial. In the overall standings, Vingegaard was 6 minutes and 17 seconds behind Pogacar, and American Matteo Jorgensen finished 8th. There you go, a little Tour de France update. 83 hours. It's like 2,500 miles in 21 stages.
And it's so beautiful out there, but they're so focused. I don't even think they even look at the mountainside, the countryside, and all that.
The cities, all that. That's why my dad likes to watch it, is because they're always doing drone footage. They're taking you through all these areas of France. But you know, these guys are probably some of the best athletes in the world. To be able to do that and they're doing climbs, they're doing sprints, they're doing all sorts of stuff. But yeah, you know, there you go. And a lot of these guys will probably be moving over to the Olympics, or not over. They're already there. I mean, they're in Nice, which is kind of close to Paris, so they'll be getting ready for the different cycling events as well. So want to make sure I touched on the Tour de France as it finished up this past weekend, and you know, it'll be again next year in July. 21 straight days, and 21 stages.
And those bikes weigh like 4 pounds. Like, you can pick them up with your pinky.
I think they cost like 10 grand a piece or something like that. It's crazy. Yeah, they're super light, and they've got their teams have multiple bikes on the back of the car in case there's a wreck, all that stuff. I mean, we were talking about NASCAR and strategy. I mean, there's a ton of strategy that goes into cycling as well. You got your teams, you got the Peloton, you got all that stuff going. You know what the Peloton is?
Is that the thing that you put in your bedroom that you never use?
I mean, you can put it in your living room too if you want to. It don't have to be in your bedroom. Yeah.
I mean, I think everybody bought one back in the pandemic and just never used them. I think they're in everybody's bedroom these days, it seems.
They're not in mine.
Oh, really?
You got a Peloton?
Well, no, I don't. No.
Yeah. But do you know what a Peloton is besides the exercise?
Oh,
equipment?
we're talking about that Peloton.
Yes, that's yeah. No, I wasn't asking about the product.
Peloton.
What it was named after.
Does Pella mean like 100?
I think it means a large group, yeah, something like that, yeah. So you're getting closer. You're getting closer.
Oh, yes. That's the draft.
It's like the big group of cyclists riding together. They call that the Peloton.
The Peloton.
Yep, and that's where they named that exercise bike after.
Interesting.
So had we not got to the Tour de France, we wouldn't have got to that. So good job. I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
Now you need to go get a Peloton.
Yeah.
All right, I got a fun one for us here. I think I heard this on one of the shows when I was driving in my car the other day, which was pretty exciting. But if you have 6 championships to give, 6 championships, any sport, college, pro, for your teams, how are you divvying them up?
I don't know if I understand the question.
You have 6 championships. David Hayes walking away laughing. You have 6 championships to give to your teams, whether it's professional sports, college sports, whatever it may be. How are you going to divide up those 6 championships?
I mean, is there 6 sports?
It's how you have 6 championships. You could divide.
Let me go.
All right, Michael, you go first.
I'm going to give Vanderbilt Golf a national championship.
There you go.
They don't have one yet, and they deserve to.
There you go.
I mean, I'm going to give the Tennessee Titans a Super Bowl.
Okay.
Got to.
There's 2.
Probably give the Nashville Predators a Stanley Cup.
Oh, I like that one too.
So that's 3. I'm trying to think what I would do golf-wise. Who deserves a green jacket, like truly, that doesn't have one?
Rory.
Yeah, I guess you got to give Rory a green jacket. I think you got to give Phil a U.S. Open.
Yeah. He knocked us out of the park.
He did knock it out of the park.
And I'm missing one. I mean, I think you got to give Tiger another green jacket, right? I mean, maybe an Open. Let's be realistic. Like, that's probably, and we thought this week may be a good week for him, but it wasn't.
Tough conditions.
But, you got to think that a fair weather Open is going to be his best chance to win another major.
And maybe
ever.
it's St. Andrews just to key it off.
That's like 8 years away, isn't it?
I think so, yeah. I think so. Hey, Jay said the golfers in their 50s, they're winning more tournaments than ever.
You never know.
Yeah, there you go. Do you understand that?
I do.
Okay, that was fantastic.
That was
by the
good.
way,
I appreciate it.
You weren't selfish with the decision. You were giving championships to people that deserved it. I like it.
How about the Miami Dolphins?
Okay.
Yeah, let's go Miami Dolphins NFL.
Okay, there's one.
Let's go TCU for a national championship football.
The Horned Frogs?
The Horned Frogs.
Yeah, because your Bulldogs already have a couple in the last 3 years.
Took care of business on them.
They didn't deserve it.
Right, well, that's true. Yeah, they didn't. But let's see. Man, this is tough.
I know.
This is very tough.
It's very analytical.
Yeah.
I'm still impressed by his.
I mean, hockey, I don't know hockey.
You don't have to give anything to hockey. This is your choice.
Yeah. I got nothing. I got nothing.
You've only done 2. We need 4 more.
4 more?
You've done what? You've done TCU and the Miami Dolphins. Great start. You're not going to give the Falcons any,
No. They don't deserve anything.
You're not going to give the Bills their first ever?
No.
Man.
Yeah.
He's got 2, David Hayes. He's got 2. He's given TCU a national championship and the Miami Dolphins a Super Bowl. Now, Michael Shears, he gave Vandy a national championship in golf, which is really cool. You gave Rory a Masters. You gave Tiger a Open championship one more time. Who were the other ones you did?
I gave Phil a U.S. Open.
Phil a U.S. Open,
and then I
which
gave
is
the Titans and the Nashville Predators.
That's right.
They may not be deserving, but that'd be cool.
No,
to see
it's
one
your
day.
choice. It's your choice who you want to give 6 championships to.
Oh, you're just giving them away?
Whatever you want to do. It can be selfish. You could do what Michael did, which was a little self-serving, but also giving championships to people that never had one in that particular thing. And then he comes up with TCU and Miami. And he can't think of 4 more. That's it.
Sounds like Nashville's struggling up there a bit. I don't know.
Maybe you can give the Memphis a national championship in football, just for good old times.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I'll take it.
There you go.
Let's go with it.
Okay, this isn't my list. This is your list. You got 3 more to go. Come on.
I don't know.
Come
Greg
on.
Norman. Greg Norman, a green jacket.
There you go.
Yeah,
He's
why not?
coming out of nowhere.
Yeah,
Greg
That's
Norman.
my favorite one I've heard to this point is Greg Norman.
Yeah, there you go. Greg.
I'm actually being serious about
I
that.
know, I
Just
can tell.
Yeah.
Tell with your tone.
Yeah, but Jay's over here thinking I'm bashing him again.
No. TCU, Miami, Memphis in football, college football. Yeah. National championship, okay. And Greg Norman, a green jacket.
There you go.
All right, you got two more. There's lots of sports, Jay. Why is this so hard?
Because, I just don't know. I can't keep up with it all.
Can't keep up with what?
Of what? Who's got a Super Bowl? Who doesn't?
It doesn't have to be who's got one. I'm giving one to the Niners. They've got 5.
Oh, okay. I got you.
No, it's not first time.
Okay,
He
that's
just kind of went down that route because there was a lot of people that hadn't won that
Makes sense.
particular.
That makes
so,
sense.
Yeah.
All right.
So
Well-
now that we're on the same page and understand what's going through your head, it can be anything.
give it to the bit. Like, let's go Bills.
See, let's
let's
they've
go
never
Bills.
had one. That's fair. They've come
let's
close
go-
many a time.
Cleveland Browns.
Ooh, see, now you're thinking.
Yeah,
Do you want to
Cleveland Browns.
recant any of your other ones that you said?
No, I don't want to go back.
All right, so let's recap. The Dolphins, the TCU Horned Frogs in football,
Yeah.
the Memphis Tigers in football, right? They're the Tigers? Memphis is the Tigers.
That's
okay,
right.
good. All right. And then you went with the
Greg Norman.
Greg Norman winning a green jacket specifically.
Yep.
And then you went with the Buffalo Bills, and then you finished with
Cleveland Browns.
The Cleveland Browns.
Yeah.
See, there you go. That's not bad. That's not bad.
It took a minute.
All right, I'm going to go, then I'm going to let David Hayes go. All right, I haven't really been thinking about this. I'm just going to kind of fire from the hip, but obviously going to give the Niners, I'm going to give the Niners 2 Super Bowls just because then they can be the all-time leader in Super Bowls. 6 currently is the most. They get one more, that's 6. They get one more, that's 7. So we'll drop that. I'm going to give the New Jersey Devils another Stanley Cup. They hadn't had one since 2003, so it's been 21 years, so need to get them back in the winning circle. This year coming up might be a good one for that. Also going to give the Coastal Carolina Chanticleers baseball team another College World Series. I was going to say a football national championship, but that's just really not feasible. So,
But this is your dream.
yeah, but it's got to be kind of feasible at the same time. Memphis can go. They can. Not really. But anyway, so I got 2 for the Niners, 1 for the Devils. I got Coastal Carolina winning another baseball national championship. How about Florida State winning a baseball national championship? I'll give them one, too, because they've never have. And then last but not least, give Auburn another national championship.
All right.
Fair?
Yeah.
Okay. D. Hayes, what you got?
Tiger Woods winning a Live Tour championship.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy.
Number 2 would be Detroit Lions winning a Super Bowl. Number 3 would be, this is going to be the only selfish one I put in there, the Indiana Pacers getting a NBA title there.
Nice.
Hoisting the Larry O'Brien. Number 4 would be, how about Vanderbilt winning an SEC championship? We'll just cut it off.
There you go.
SEC championship. That's for you, Mike. So what's that? 3, got 4, 5, and 6 left. Tampa Bay Rays winning a World Series. That's I'll put that kind of in the almost selfish category. Number 5 would be, you already went with the Cleveland Browns, so I'll stay away from that. This is where it kind of gets difficult.
Thank you, David.
Yeah, you're right. I mean,
you thought it had to be first time things, though. Now I understand where your confusion was.
How about Texas A&M? Just because it's been since 1933, I don't even care what sport you put it in. Just give them a championship and something for Texas A&M.
Yeah.
And then last but not least, Auburn delegated out of the SEC. Is that a possibility?
Delegated?
Yeah, like get them out of there. No,
Relegated.
Delegated. Yeah, that's totally.
We can delegate their responsibilities.
Jay says the same thing, so I'll go with that.
All right, delegate and relegate's a synonym.
How about Chase Elliott just winning a race? It's been a while for him.
There you go. See some NASCAR
there
stuff.
you go.
If you had to pick a NASCAR guy, who do you want to win?
Chase Elliott. I know.
Original.
That's his guy, though.
It is his guy. It is his guy. No
Big
doubt
Bill
about
Elliott fan, right?
Yes, sir.
Yep.
What do you think the hardest, this is off topic, but what do you think the hardest sport to win a championship is in? We can go college and pro sport.
NHL.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I mean, outside of golf's like in its own.
Take golf off the mix because it's an individual sport.
Right. Yeah, I'll say NHL Stanley Cup.
Yeah.
Now, it's going to be interesting to see what college football looks like when we get to 12 teams, because I think a lot of people's thinking, oh, well, the top 4 teams. I think we're going to have some upsets, man, that people ain't
just
really
naturally,
ready
absolutely.
for. So, yeah, I'll go NHL.
I'll go college football because you got the players for 4 years with the NIL. Yeah, maybe
Used to.
Well, yeah, that's what I was going to say. 1 or 2 years, whatever it may be. But college football for me, by far.
Yeah. By far.
By far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think, Shears?
I mean, it's tough for me. Like, part of me wants to go NFL, and part of me actually wants to go MLB. Just with it being such a long season, and I don't totally follow the MLB. So maybe that's not a perfect answer, but it's just a long, answer. They've got, and I guess it's kind of the same with the NHL. They've got, how many rounds do they have to go through in the playoffs in MLB?
In MLB, if you not in the wild card, you got to go what? 2, 3
divisional championship series and then the World Series. But if you're in the wild card round, which it seems to be more popular to do, 4 rounds.
Yeah.
And is it just 3-game series?
Did they bump the wild card up?
Wild card is 3-game series, and then you've got the divisional series, which is a 5-game series, championship 7 World Series.
Gotcha. So it's out of NBA, NHL, and Major League Baseball where you have series in your playoffs. It's the shortest. But it's also, there's the least amount of spots available in the playoffs as well. So, it's kind of, you can see that. I just know the NFL, it's just hard to make it to the Super Bowl, let alone win one. So,
maybe the Chiefs or the Patriots.
I think, too, if you look back further in time, I think you have to go NFL, just particularly with, how it falls in terms of the calendar year. They're playing playoff games and it's freezing cold because there weren't domes all over the place.
No, not
playing in bad weather. Everybody's already hurt. It's just,
and now they made the season longer and they've added another playoff spot. So I don't know. Why do you think NHL is the hardest?
Oh, man. I mean, the injuries that they go through. I know the NFL's got a lot of injuries and those guys are playing injured, but when they get to a certain point, they stop playing. Whereas NHL players, unless they got a broke leg, they're going through. You see the injury list after the final round.
People are getting surgeries and all that.
Yeah, and it's just like, whoa, man. So that's in the NHL, man, with the NFL, it depends on the market size of your team, right? If you're in a big market or you just got that quarterback like Patrick Mahomes in the Kansas City, or like the Chiefs have in Patrick Mahomes, and I think that they're in a better position. But the NHL, man, you got to have your third and fourth lines have to.
Oh, no doubt.
They have to be very good in order for you to win the Stanley Cup. And with the NFL, it's like if you got too deep at every position outside of quarterback, and I think we're headed into the realm now where you're going to have to be 2 quarterbacks deep in order to get through the regular season, and then we'll see what happens in the playoffs. But yeah, you got to be so deep in the NHL.
Yeah. No, it makes sense. It's a long, they're all long seasons, but it's a long and very, very physical season when it comes to all that stuff. I'm going to throw out college basketball as the hardest to win because you got to go, obviously you got to make it to the tournament, then you got to win all those games in the tournament, and you lose one and you're done. So I'm just going to throw that one out there. Want to ask, this is DJ Davy Crockett's thing, but I saw this come through, and I think Kyle Albritton might have posted this one. Fantasy football commissioner should be mentioned alongside other job experience during interviews. Not many jobs teach you organization, negotiation, and management skills like being a fantasy football commissioner.
That's how I got my job here.
There you go.
He was like, what kind of experience you got? Well, I used to run a board for church and fantasy football commissioner for a ton of leagues. So
yeah,
Randy was like, all right, you're hired.
Makes sense. Makes sense. See, you don't know
that's not true.
Yeah. How about that?
There's some leadership qualities there.
You don't know the ins and outs of being a commissioner if you've never been the commissioner.
I can't imagine.
Yeah, especially D. Hayes. He's basically running 4 at the same time, plus whatever he's doing personally. So.
And then you have to monitor everybody's texts, making sure everybody's,
And then they ask you questions you don't know the answer to, like you're expected to know it. It's tough. So I think that's fair. I think you could stick it on the old resume and fantasy football commissioner.
Well, and then you got to be up at 4 a.m. whenever, isn't there like a trade deadline?
Yeah, but you don't have to be up for it.
Oh, you don't?
No. You're not in there approving waivers and all that. Luckily, the software does that for you.
Okay, good.
Yeah. Now, back in the day when it was all handwritten, yeah, absolutely. absolutely. Commissioners then, I mean, like what Dake does and some of these older school guys that still do paper fantasy football leagues, that's a whole nother ballgame, no doubt. No doubt. But yeah, I think you should throw it on the old resume if you've done a commissioner before. Our Bay Point League is getting ready to get back up and running.
Yes, sir.
Did you do your keeper already?
I have not.
Don't forget. Don't forget.
When is the very last minute I need to do it?
The day before the draft.
And that is?
I'm not telling you because I'm not going to give you that much time to do it.
I got you.
So you just need to go ahead and do it. And remember, if it's your keeper and from a draft pick from last year, that's going to be that's going to be wherever you drafted it. But if it's a keeper from 2 seasons ago, then that's your first round pick. So make sure you pick appropriately when it comes to your keeper.
Will do.
All right, there you go. Inside, or the Inside Drive, the afternoon under. I was Coach James Hale in the Champions League. I think we're on a waiting list now for fantasy football, if I'm not mistaken there. DJ Davy Crockett.
I got 1 spot left, and then we're on to the waiting list.
There you go. We'll get it in quick. And if you were in the Champions League, you didn't need to do anything. You just carry over to that 16-team league. Still trying to find a 16-man board. We may have to add 2 rows on the 14-man board.
Yeah, we just get a ruler out there and a Sharpie and just...
right onto the old wall. But yeah, you got to text in 850-215-6290, your name and email address. It's a 100% free league. It's a lot of fun. Draft coming up on Sunday, August 25th, 6:30 p.m. right there at PCB Hobby in the Lindell Shopping Plaza next to Florida Linen. We got one more segment left. Michael Shears in the house. You're listening to The Inside Drive. We'll be right back.
America's team plays here.
Swing and a miss. Struck him out. That's number 10.
The Atlanta Braves on ESPN Northwest Florida. Charlie Morton, Max Fried, and Chris Sale lead the Braves' dominant pitching rotation.
That's 18 up, 18 down.
Sponsored by Panama City Toyota, Ellis Agency Insurance, Bestway Portable Buildings, PCB Hobby, and ESPN Northwest Florida.
Got him swinging. Strike 3.
Golf is a game that should be fun, but to have the most fun, you need to play your best. That's where the experts at Golf Plus come in. Their friendly staff will guide you through the buying process, answer all your questions, and can help with any repairs you need along the way. Golf Plus is your custom fitting, club repair, and golf retail shop. Golf Plus staff is non-commissioned and will work with you to find the best product for your game, just like they've been doing since 1988. Golf Plus in Dothan and Panama City Beach. Fitting, repair, retail. That's Golf Plus.
You're a real estate agent, not a social media expert, but you absolutely need a professional social media strategy. Stay on top of mind, top of feed, and be in more places. Introducing SocialStackPro.com, a tool for real estate agents that inspires your content with the power of ChatGPT built right in. Try SocialStackPro.com for free. Focus on building your brand, building relationships, and post like a pro with SocialStackPro.com.
1, 2.
I'm in love with a man named Rudy. I'm okay with that. He knows exactly what I want. He keeps me coming back. Cooks breakfast, lunch, and dinner for me. Does the dishes too. I'm in love with a man named Rudy. Last name Barbecue. It sure is easy to fall in love with Rudy's tasty oak smoked barbecue.
Next in line.
The only place to get sports betting coverage on the radio. Is this legal? Broadcasting from the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine Outdoor Studios. It's the Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey on ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back. You're listening to The Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. Jay, you're here this week all week?
I am.
But next week you are not.
I'm not.
That's all right. We'll figure that one out. We'll just, it's all right. It's Olympics. Olympics will be wide open.
Yeah.
You won't know half the stuff that's going on.
No, I won't.
So it'll be
at
good.
all.
But a nice little free. Yes, I hadn't heard that since the first segment. Oh, all right. Before we got to do another win-loss total of an SEC school before we get through all of them. So far, we've done Florida, Auburn, and Oklahoma. Today, we're going to do Georgia here shortly. But I want to get back to all the pro sports stuff. Obviously, we are coming into the football season. But what would you guys say is the best time of year to watch sports? You know, we've got NFL, NBA, MLB, NHL, NCAA football, NCAA basketball, NCAA baseball, PGA Tour golf, MLS, NASCAR, and now WNBA.
October 20th.
October
through the rest of the month. Sportstober.
Yep. That's got NFL. That's got MLB. It's got it all. It's got NBA, NHL, football. Doesn't have NCAA basketball yet, but that's okay. Doesn't have NCAA.
We're thinking about it, though.
NCAA baseball. You are thinking about it. No PGA Tour action. You got some MLS action. You know, everybody's excited about that. NASCAR is winding down, and of course, the WNBA looks like it runs through about that October 20th time frame. So you pretty much nailed it there. Almost all the sports in that one. Now it's the beginning. It's the middle. It's not the only one that's really in championship season. At that point is baseball. Whereas if you flip to some of that springtime, it's more your playoff championship season. But it's crazy how short the NFL season is compared to some of these other seasons. The NFL starts in September and only runs through, the second week in February, where, baseball goes from April through October, NBA goes through October through June, same with the NHL, which is a little bit longer than the NBA season. And then NCAA football kind of a little bit short, about the same length as college, of NFL football. And then MLS, I didn't realize how long the MLS season. It runs from February through November. And then NASCAR long too, runs from February through early November. So, Jay, would you agree with that? Or is there a time of year you might like just a little bit better?
David Hayes, that's perfect.
Just because there's so many?
Yeah. You got Georgia, Florida is right there in that mix. If the Braves are playing good baseball, we're playing some good October, baseball World Series, which may be a little too late for the World Series. I want to say maybe second week of October. That's it with the baseball. But of course, NFL.
I think it runs. I think that's why he said the 20th, right? Because you're pretty much.
Well, that's normally when the NHL season, I believe, gets started. Either the NHL or the NBA. Like one of them kind of start a little later in October. At least they had the last 2 years.
NBA, NBA is the one that starts a couple weeks later than the NHL. NHL is usually that second week in October.
Yeah, and then if it's a Ryder Cup year, typically, is a Ryder Cup September, October?
End of September.
Yep.
Same with the President's Cup, yeah.
Fall is a great time of year.
For sports, actually.
My man picked a season.
Yeah.
The whole season. Yeah.
Which hopefully will be coming here pretty soon. It's hot out there. What about you, Michael? You like all the sports, or do you like more the time of year where your playoffs and your championships are getting going?
I'm kind of a playoffs guy. I think it's pretty hard to beat all the bowl games.
Yeah.
Even with most of them being meaningless now.
Which is changing a little bit going into this year.
I agree.
Do you have NFL playoffs going on at that point? Or is it
kind of shortly? But this year and we've talked about, I don't know exactly how to, but there's a period of time from December 18th or something like that through the Super Bowl where there's literally football every weekend. There's college, NFL.
There's just so much meaningful football that entire month of basically from Thanksgiving all the way through the New Year.
Yep.
There's so much.
Now you'll have it all the way basically through January because the college football playoff, I think the finals is the third or fourth week in January.
And so football is king.
Yeah, no doubt.
Honorable mention would be March Madness and the Masters, right? Don't those normally go there?
Yeah, absolutely. Typically, Masters Monday is your national championship in college basketball.
Right.
That's a good time, too.
That is.
And Kentucky Derby's right around then, too.
It is. It is. Horse racing. Yeah, see, there's
losing money time, baby.
That's it. You know what's going on right now?
What?
Table tennis.
Go!
Oh, that's 24/7.
24/7. There's always
Ukraine or where is it this
I think it's
week?
in the Czech Republic.
Yeah, I don't think it's in the Ukraine.
Okay.
But yeah, you maybe. These Ukrainians playing the old paddle.
You never know.
Yeah, no roofs, but that's okay. All right, you want to do this? Georgia win losses. We'll throw Michael in this one as well. All right, who is the first opponent? Because I didn't have time to type all the names in.
Clemson in Atlanta.
So that'll be a fun one. All right, Jay, the Georgia Bulldog you start us off.
I will take the Dogs at Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
All right.
Yep.
Woof, woof. What about
W as well.
Michael?
Win.
Any chance Clemson can win this game?
Nope.
No?
I mean, there's a chance in every football game. I just think that
a realistic chance.
the last time they played, which Clemson was in a different position, then what was the score? 10-3 of that ball game?
Yeah,
I mean,
something like that.
And here's the other thing is everyone wants to talk about Dabo not getting players in the transfer portal, but how many of the kids are leaving to exiting in the transfer portal? Not many. So with that being said, yes, there absolutely is a chance here. However, I believe Cade Klubnik versus Carson Beck. Give me Carson Beck all
I was
day.
going to ask Jay who the quarterback of Clemson was too, just for fun.
He probably forgot already.
Yeah. Who's the quarterback of Clemson?
Don't know.
He just said it. Cade.
Hey man, I'm
Cade
looking at
Klubnik.
my schedule. Who is it?
Cade Klubnik.
Okay.
Klubnik.
Was he a
whatever it
true
is.
freshman last year?
I believe he was a sophomore last year.
And there's another guy, Venenzia or something like that. He's like 6'5", 6'6", something like that. He's also on their roster. The only reason I know that is because I have both of their cards autos, and both are one of them's 1 out of 1, one of them's 7 of 7.
Nice.
So hopefully Cade Klubnik does something this year because I'd like him to get better. But
I'm not a big fan of it. Like not that I'm not a big fan of him. I'm not a big believer in him. But that's the thing with Clemson and their quarterbacks is like every 2 years, like we got the guy. They had the guy with Deshaun Watson and with Trevor Lawrence, but those spells in between, DJ Uiagalelei.
and then he goes,
Yep, exactly. So
what a world where you can be a quarterback at Clemson, Oregon State, and now Florida State, all in your college career.
Crazy.
It just doesn't make sense.
That is, I know.
Coast to coast to coast.
That's it. Kinda. Clemson's in the middle of the state, but we'll go with we'll go with the East Coast. It's about 2.5 hours from the coast, so that's close. And then they went to the West Coast, now the Gulf Coast.
Hey,
there you go. Who's next, Jay? Or
Tennessee Tech.
Tennessee Tech in Athens.
So home Tennessee Tech. We threw Liam off for a loop. Remember when we were doing Auburn and we said Alabama A&M, and he's like, they're playing Alabama. No, Alabama A&M.
Yeah,
he just didn't get that through his head. All right, Tennessee Tech or Tennessee State?
Tennessee Tech.
Tennessee Tech. All right then. All right, I don't even have to ask you guys on this one.
No,
all right.
Sweep it out.
Who is next?
Georgia in Lexington.
Georgia. Oh, so at Kentucky. Dang, so they got a road game 3 games into the season compared to all these other SEC teams.
Wait for the next one.
All right, so we got, that would have been David going first. Michael, you go first on this one. At Kentucky.
Georgia.
All right. I'm going to go with Georgia as well, even though I didn't want to. Go ahead.
Georgia
by 17 at least.
Ooh. I think it's a close game.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I mean, 17, doesn't that kind of feel close for Kentucky?
I mean, it's a night game up there. Like, they're a good team.
Jason Patterson is going to be their running back. He's out of Snead, so I'm excited about watching him.
He's the one that was setting
5 touchdowns or more on Arnold.
Yeah. That was
500 yards for sure.
He just ran for a gajillion yards. All right, who do we got after Kentucky?
Georgia at Alabama.
Under the lights.
Under the lights of Bryant Denny, and I'm going to go with the Alabama Crimson Tide.
You are?
I am. Because I think there's going to be more parity in the SEC this year than people are expecting. It's a whole new era of the SEC. Alabama's not supposed to be the dominant team, but I think they'll be just fine. So I think you got a little shake up there in the 4th week of the season for Georgia and Alabama. Jay, who you got?
I can't tell you the last time Georgia won in Tuscaloosa. It's been a while.
When's the last time Georgia played in Tuscaloosa?
I mean, I remember back 07, 08.
So it's been a while.
Yeah, it has. But this is Georgia's only loss of the year, and I'm kind of letting the cat out of the bag here. But that's basically all I'm going to say. I think they struggle in Tuscaloosa, but we take it home the rest of the year.
All right, Forrest. That's all you're going to say about that?
Yep.
All right.
Man, this is tough because the question mark for Bama this year.
Game. What's the date on this one?
September 28th, right?
Yep. 6:30 under the lights.
It's going to be epic.
The secondary for Alabama is kind of suspect this year. I don't think that there's many holes in Georgia at all. But and with Georgia losing in the SEC championship, that's going to be tough. For now, I'm picking Georgia. I'd expect that pick to change, though, whenever we get to game day.
When we're actually doing our weekly pick'em, which is on hold. Well, not on hold. We ended the last one, and we'll start the new one here. All right, Michael.
I'm taking the Dogs. They're going to be healthy. It's Kalen DeBoer's first year. I think they're going to go in there and be ready.
The last time they played in Tuscaloosa was 2020. The score was 41-24 Bama.
Wow, so it's been recent. Oh, that was the COVID year.
Yeah.
That was the COVID year. So they had
the time before that was 2007.
Ah, you nailed it on the year.
Was that a I think
that was the blackout game.
That didn't go well.
Well, no, it couldn't have been because it was 26-23 in overtime.
Yeah, Georgia or Bama?
Georgia.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
When was the blackout game?
The blackout game would have been at home.
In
not-
Athens.
Yeah, that would have been.
This is in Tuscaloosa.
That was probably 2000.
And was that Nick Saban's first year or second year?
2007. That would have been his first year.
Yeah. And that was the year they didn't have, as good of a. I think they were 8-5,
7-6,
7-6, and then the rest is history. All right, we got to go a little bit. Who's after Alabama?
Auburn in Athens.
All right, home against the Tigers. All right, Jay, you're batting first.
Go Dogs.
All right.
Yeah, give me Georgia.
Dogs.
All right. I'm going to go with what Liam picked for Auburn's schedule. I'm going to go with Auburn sneaking out a win in Athens. They're coming off a loss against Alabama. They let their guard down. They overlook Auburn. Boom!
Back-to-back losses.
Back-to-back losses. Hey, it's a new year. That's why it's a pick 'em and not real life.
Absolutely.
All right, who do we got next?
Mississippi State in Athens.
Mississippi State. David?
Georgia.
Woof, woof, woof.
Dogs.
Georgia across the board for the
Bulldogs. The Georgia Bulldogs.
Ah, yes. There you go. There you go. All right. After Mississippi State, who's next?
Georgia in Austin.
Ooh. In Austin.
You're up, top of the order.
Two tough road games, man.
Texas.
The one loss. I'm also going to go with Texas. I think Texas wins the SEC this year.
Yikes. Go Dogs.
I'll go Georgia. That defense is going to be too strong for Texas, I believe.
I think Arch Manning is playing by this time. As Quinn Ewers goes down with an injury, the rest is history. There you go. All right, who do we got next?
Wait, hang on. I want to switch mine. I'm
Okay.
taking the Dogs.
Oh.
Sorry.
He's like, if it's Arch Manning playing dag, ain't no way.
you didn't lift your finger off the chess piece, so you're good. All right, here, just tell me the last.
Florida, Georgia.
Okay, so that's the in
Georgia.
Jacksonville.
Everybody's taking the Dogs in that one.
Yep.
All right. Everybody's got the Dogs.
Georgia for the rest of the year for me.
Georgia in Oxford is the next one.
Oh, that one's going to be
At
tough.
Ole
though.
Miss.
I'm going with the loss there.
That's why you changed it up. Yeah, that makes
All right.
sense.
Everybody else got dubs in that one?
I'm going Georgia still, yeah.
Okay. Jay, win in Oxford?
Georgia,
Okay.
yeah.
All right, next.
Georgia in Athens against Tennessee.
All right. Home
Georgia.
against Tennessee. Tennessee's not Tennessee of old. Anybody not picking Georgia?
No.
Okay. Everybody's got Georgia in that
Yep.
one? All right. Now,
Georgia at home against UMass.
Oh, give me the Minutemen.
Minutemen, obviously across the board.
Yeah.
All right. Last but not least, is it got to be Georgia Tech?
Georgia
correct?
Tech
Is it
in
at-
Athens.
Oh, man. Georgia Tech.
Rambling.
All right. Anybody taking the old Yellow Jackets?
Not a
Nah.
chance.
All right. So that leaves David Hayes has them running the table at 12-0. Michael Shears and Jay both have them at 11-1, which is, I think, what they're kind of predicted for schedule-wise or for record-wise, right? By most people, is one loss. Is that fair?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then I've got them with 2 losses, so 10-2. So we'll see what comes to fruition. But yeah,
Like it.
Georgia Bulldogs coming up soon. How many days, Jay?
33?
I think it's
Well, not for the Dogs.
Well, I think it's 32 now because
39 for the Dogs.
30. Oh, because they don't play week 0.
I don't think so.
Well, I was just talking college football in general.
Oh,
So
30.
it was 33 before we hit the top of the hour, and then it went to 32.
Yep.
It'll be 32 again in the top of the hour tomorrow, so don't forget it.
We're getting there.
Yeah, absolutely. Michael, we appreciate you coming in again. Congratulations on a great top 10 finish in the Florida Open, and hope to see you back in studio soon.
Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Afternoon Underdogs coming up at 4 p.m. You've been listening to The Inside Drive. Me and Jay will be back tomorrow for Tuesday. Jay Henley's Tip of the Week. Y'all have a great rest of the day. See you tomorrow.
ESPN Northwest Florida is your home for college football and the Auburn Tigers.
He dives! He's in! Touchdown Auburn!
We heard you, Tiger fans. So this season, we're airing every single game. And you can take that to the bank.
It's picked off in the end zone!
Plus, the biggest games in the SEC and around the country play here on your official station.